What's going on, everybody? I'm sorry for the late start, but welcome to another week here at the Hydeout. We are excited. Today's the special episode that we've been hyping up for a while. The giveaway. We have our special guest, Nathan.
What's up?
Again, we are glad to bring him on the show. We're going to be talking his favorite anime, Fate Zero, today. So I'm super stoked. Again, we've been, planning this for a while. We've been, giving y'all a heads up. So we are going to get down to the nitty gritty here in a bit. Again, we're going to do a giveaway later. Again, guys, let's see here. We're going to do a little special race later. I don't know what kind of race. There was all kinds. I think there was a Minecraft one, a ducky race. A leprechaun race. So, again, the name of the game is like, share, and comment, showing that you're on the page. Again, we're going to also do the followers as well. Make sure y'all show. Again, if you are subscribing to the channel at The Real Hydeout on YouTube, that is a big, crucial one for us. So join there. Make sure you're, maybe you do like a screenshot, put it in the comments below throughout the show. And then at the end of the show, we will be doing the giveaway. So again, we will have the hat, and then we're going to have the bucket, so, yeah. So that is the goal. So again, I don't see very many on at the moment, but I will be making that announcement multiple times throughout the show, letting y'all know that is the move. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. So, yeah. I'm excited. So, again, welcome our guest, Nathan. I'm super stoked. Again, he is our more popular video that we had in season 1 or season 2?
I think it was 2.
Season 2, yeah, dude. I was like, oh, your video from Dr. Applesauce? No way.
I'm fucking mad.
So again, restarting the hate, but yes, he is our actual our video from the Hydeout, one of our more popular ones. I think we hit 100 or something. So on that one, it's like the most viewed one.
See a ball kind of One Punch Man.
Yeah, let me click on that real quick. But One Punch Man, will the real One Punch Man please stand up? Again, if you're following us at the Real Hydeout, you will see that video. It's on there. It was a great episode. They went on a Pokemon rant.
Yeah.
They went on a Pokemon rant. You can see that's what I said. You can see my face in the middle. Like I'm just like no and no way. Like whatever they say, that's the truth.
Oh, so that's how it works.
So yes, guys.
Oh, Pikachu.
I know that name.
Yeah, right. Number 25, right? Yeah. So let me add a little bit more knowledge on there. I still remember. Right. But what are y'all on now? Like 890?
It's
over 1,000 already. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's like 1,025.
That is insane.
1,025.
1,025.
Is it?
Let's see.
I feel like it's a little bit more. I felt like it was
I was about to say with the special characters.
Legends Arceus, was it Violet and Scarlet?
Yep.
And then I think they're starting to bring up.
Oh, read it and weep. Read it and weep.
Okay.
25.
1,025.
It
is 1,025. I'm right.
She says you sound a little far, so if you want to adjust your mic, my wife is checking in. So
I sound a bit far.
Yeah, you sound far.
Test.
There we go. Do I sound a bit better? Ooh, that's going.
Let us know. Let us know.
I think the yellow will be better than
the yellow's better than green. When it doesn't get into the green or yellow, then we're too low.
Yeah.
It's just because holding it a bit far from my face, because I'm noticing that it's peaking a bit. So I'm just gonna keep it close to my face from here on out. Think it'll be better.
And in my defense for that number, I have not played any of the last 2 or 3 gens.
So like, what was the last one? Like Sun Moon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like.
No, I did play Sword and Shield.
I didn't like Sword and Shield.
So Sword and Shield was okay, but Sun and Moon.
I mean, it's too easy for me to like.
Which one? Sun and Moon?
Sword and Shield.
Oh, Sword. Yeah. But
this is the strongest champion the world has ever seen. He was the easiest one I fought.
Dude, I think
I just gotta keep the mic close to my face. If I start ranting and the mic it's far away, that's probably why. So
cool.
I'll have to keep this close to my face.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me know about that. That's the only thing that sucks about these podcast mics is that if you do invest in one of these, you have to like get the arm stand like on your chair, and then you have to be like eating your mic. It's crazy, but you sound good if you do.
That's what we came to the conclusion that I kept turning away.
She said she lied. You're in and out now.
I'm in and out now.
Sound echoey.
Is someone else making me up?
Let me see.
Probably me. Let me see. If I turn mine this way, hopefully I'm still picked up a bit, but
go ahead and talk, Nathan.
I'm gonna talk now. Pokédex is 1025, by the way, and I was right about that. That's pretty crazy.
Mine always does a little bit extra, picks up extra people.
That's a restaurant in and out. It's true.
It's
and it's actually pretty good, Zaku.
You like in and out?
I mean, we already we
thank you, babe. We'll work with it. I think if anything, we might just open up Emmanuel's mic and then have him hold him or like bring the mic. To
just center it.
But
kind of what we did last time.
Yeah, exactly like we did.
My mic's being echoey.
Well, I think
that was the key. That's the key where we needed the sound check because his mic is such a like broad mic.
Oh, so it's picking me up twice.
It's picking up your mic and his.
But we already discussed this. We knew this coming in advance.
Here, I'll just scoot away from him.
Now he's gonna pick him up.
No, my mic's pretty good. Mine is like what you're speaking of. Is like it has like a small window of
Even though mine is still right here, it still picks everybody up.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Like it's trash. That place tastes like a bare minimum with burgers.
Okay, but if
I won't start this. This is gonna be a whole
But
if you had to get consistency, In and Out is at least consistent all across the board.
Yeah,
if you go to McDonald's or Jack in the Box or anywhere else, Whataburger, whatever, sometimes you get trash. Other times you're like, oh damn, this is actually really good.
You know what? Who's been on point every time? Burger King.
I haven't had Burger King in a while. I haven't had Burger King in a while.
Burger King over In and Out.
It's been.
You were talking about the app deals the other day at work.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
I saw these app deals, like, well,
25% off you get on your meal. So you can, it's straight up from Walmart Plus. Oh. So if you want a Walmart Plus membership, it's Walmart Plus. But guys,
you got to steer back. Come on, turn.
You wanting that discount? Yeah, dude, I've been using that discount, not wanting it, using the discount. But guys, all right. So again, we had a little bit of news, but our editing software is not working. We had a Galactus reveal. They showed his costume. We've seen a couple of other like Funko Pop news. So that part of the day or the show today is going to be Ixnade. Unfortunately, we're looking into better editing software. So that way we can continue bringing you the news and being able to edit our pictures the way we have been. But alrighty, guys, I'm ready to get to the nitty gritty because it's such a political and like deep thought anime. Like so, it was deep, connaissance to everything that was happening. There was political parts. There was the church. There was so much. So we brought the expert Nathan in. I was about to say reason being. Look at that. Show him up. Yes, sir. There we go. Yeah.
You watch the anime, you know that's the main character right there.
So Kitty to go. So
the subtitles were so bad.
Guys, Crunchyroll subtitles were absolutely horrendous.
The character's name is Kitsugu, and it was pronouncing it as Kitty to go. They were calling Korea.
So it was funny. It was funny to see throughout the entire show.
Did that take away from the anime, by the way? Like,
it does.
Serious moments of seeing Kitty to go.
Yes.
You were like, okay, a little bit, still great though.
Yeah, I had to because again, I was Last night I had pulled the all-nighter to watch this show, guys. I pulled all 24 episodes, 25 episodes within a month. I know.
This dude got the dude.
I finished it like in March.
I enjoyed it that much though. That it brought a nostalgia. You know, where you get sucked in and you don't want to stop. That's how it kind of felt. I got some, snackage. I was drinking water. I wanted the Coke. I wanted a Coke so bad. But again, guys, if anyone follows on Snapchat, I'm not drinking any Cokes right now. But rookie numbers. You gotta pump them up. But yeah, 24 episodes in a night. So I went to bed about 6:30. Woke up after like a brief nap at like 8:45. Started cranking them out again. So it was fun. It was interesting. Again, nostalgia to remember, when you had no worries and you're just watching an anime tucked in a blanket, like, I got school tomorrow, but oh well, you know what I mean?
I don't care. Season of Attack on Titan in one day. That was 25 episodes. Yeah, because I asked my sister, I was like, hey, you want to watch Attack on Titan show? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah. And so I watched the first 5 episodes thinking it should be done. She's like, no, keep going. Just watch the whole thing. I was like, okay.
You know what? That is a lot. But I remember, but it wasn't anime. Me and my cousin, we were bored one day and we were sitting down and watched, freaking flipping through channels, and we came across The Lord of the Rings. Oh, no. And it had all 3 back to back, no commercials, no nothing, and somehow or another we watched all 3, and then it restarted. From the first one, after the 3rd one ended, it restarted the first one again. It was like a freaking marathon of it for some reason. And we watched like the all 3 or like all the way through, and then we probably watched like the first half of the first one again, and we're like, all right, we're done now. Like it's done. But yeah, dude, that was. I think all 3 movies are like 3 hours a piece.
Yeah, but to think about it, also like full seasons used to be like 24 episodes. Nowadays it's like 12, so it's easier to binge stuff nowadays.
Oh, so much more.
Like, it's so rare to get an anime that starts the first season with 24 episodes. Thanks to Freerun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, because of that?
Freerun does go back to 24 episodes.
They were the ones that, bringing it back? Okay. Yeah, because someone was talking about that as far as even like on the Marvel side, because we complain about that, where we don't get the storylines anymore because there's only 8 opposed to 20 or 18.
Like, even if you give me 16, that's still way
more time to build a story
right now.
Are they inflating the episodes now too? What's going on?
They did actually. This whole Daredevil season was at an hour long each episode, just about 48 minutes.
I am cool with that. I don't know if either of you ever watched the BBC Sherlock. Okay. I enjoyed it. Another one of my friends got me on in it.
Sherlock, the one with
it's with Cumberbatch.
No, what did you say the channel's
BBC?
Yeah. Is
it the paid programming?
British.
British paid programming.
Yeah. But with David Cumberbatch, or whatever, he's Sherlock in there.
Is it the one with the TARDIS
you're thinking of Oh man, now I'm blanking out on that one.
He doesn't know what you're thinking about.
No, because you're saying the TARDIS is
it's like a phone booth as well.
Yeah, no, you're thinking of
Doctor Who.
Yeah,
he's not Doctor Who. He said the phone booth. Wait a minute.
I was like, that's wrong. No,
ill knowledge.
Each one of those episodes was a hour 45, but every season only had like 3 episodes, and it had like 4 seasons.
Okay,
but I was like, you could sit down there and watch like an hour 45 movie.
So now that we're talking about nostalgia and we're and talking about like all this, Nathan, what was your first anime that like just sparked the fire that you have with anime right now?
The first one. So let's go back to my very first anime, which
have you seen a lot? That's what I was like.
Pokemon not included. Well, actually, here's the thing that's interesting about getting into anime. When you first get into anime, the easy thing is to think of that everything is actually like Pokemon. And when you think of things like Death Note, like Attack on Titan, you're like, what? Anime doesn't do that. Anime's Pokemon. Anime's fun.
Fun and light. Yeah.
But I remember I was actually walking past my sister's room, and I saw her, and there was this little kid gouging some like maid's eyes out. And I was like, what are you watching? And she goes, Black Butler. And I'm like, you want to watch? I'm like, I want to know why he's doing that. What's going on? And then like I watched half that episode, and I'm like, this is interesting. What? And then I started watching it, and I start Black Butler from start, and Black Butler was my very first anime, which I will say, very cool concept. Later season got kind of weird, but the very first one that really got me hooked, oh my gosh, what was that? Because, like, there was Hooked, and then there was, like I was hooked on Sword Art at first, and then I got really hooked on Attack on Titan, because I thought Sword Art was an incredibly interesting concept at first.
Yeah.
So you were saying that, right? Last time that it was like the first season started well, and then it was a little bit after that.
It fell off a bit, definitely, and I just didn't like that in Sword Art Online. Every villain in that show is the same. They're just trying to touch on some girls. Yeah. That's literally all it is. I get it. You need to have an unlikable villain, but eventually you need to have a villain that has some like criteria. Like with Gun Gale.
Gun Gale was good.
Gun Gale was really interesting because what that was about was like you're in this game, and if you get shot in the game, you die in real life. And I'm like, whoa, but this guy must be like a high level terrorist or something.
Yeah,
no, you just wanted to impress the girl in that game by killing everyone else. I'm like, no, that's not a good villain.
For some reason, they kept on going back to like, oh, I just want the girl.
Yeah,
and it was just like, you have good concepts.
I was going to say, the concept was there, and then a girl would come in.
The same villain every time. First one was with, like, Alfheim. That guy was, like, filling up on Asuna. Then
except the first one. Huh? Except the very, very first guy, the one that created the game. He was the main villain.
That's why first season this one was good.
Yeah, that was so good.
And then Alicization came by, and Alicization was good for him.
I haven't watched that one.
Alicization was good, but then there was this girl, Alice, and I went, oh, no.
That's season 3?
Season 3. Then there's this girl named Alice. I'm like, oh, no, I feel bad for what's going to happen. And then lo and behold, the villain, he wants her. He doesn't take no for an answer. I'm like, this is so uncomforting to watch. But the one that really got me was definitely Attack on Titan, because like I said, I watched
that followed immediately?
Yes, because basically, it was actually, I told my friend I watched Sword Art Online, they're like, you watched Sword Art? And I'm like, yeah, and it was good. And they're like, go watch Attack on Titan for me real quick. And I was like, oh my god, this stuff is amazing! Why didn't you tell me about this sooner? I thought Sword Art was good. Attack on Titan was something else, man.
And that's how I felt when you introduced me to Fate. You're like, you know, it's dark, but not that dark. And then it's like the first episode, you're just like, Jesus.
I told you it was dark.
I was like, goodness, well underplayed. Like, first episode, I was just like, dark. Like,
but that's kind of the same thing when I told you about a Kame.
Yeah, we finished. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that anime like invented like.
Dude,
there's a different type of depression you get after watching, where you just like you watch a show, then you stare at a wall for like a week. Like, dude, just, like
what is life?
So sad, dude.
There's no reason for him to die.
Like, I think that was one of the first ones we ever watched, dude.
That's such a bad show to start with. It's so sad.
Well, he already had a few.
Yeah, I had a
few.
He
was interested, and
he was just like, you really want to know like dark, like
yeah, because he was talking about going like he's like, oh, I want something darker. I was like, here you go.
Cyberpunk. Someone was telling me about that one too.
Cyberpunk's just the Economic Kill treatment.
Yeah,
but Economic Kill was good. It didn't stay true to its manga.
No, it did not. Yeah, me and him were when we got to that point, we were discuisking it, and I was like, it was so horrible.
He like marries. He marries the dragon.
He turns into a dragon.
Right here.
Yeah. I was like, what?
Why does he appear in the anime?
Because they want him to live. They're like, oh, this person.
I couldn't even understand. I was like, wait. And that was when we finally started like talking about where animes finished off different than the manga. Like we were, using that as reference, and then it happened in Claymore, where just anime just stopped, but the manga was finished. So we talked about that on the Claymore area and stuff like that.
Yeah, but Claymore could have been.
So Attack on
where a manga strays off and it gets better than when the anime strays off from the manga and it gets better.
Well,
not very often.
Well, y'all were pretty happy with what Demon Slayer, right? I was gonna say that
they added
canon edition or whatever.
Technically, like with that little the little addition, that was like a slight stray off for them, but it's not like completely changing the story. Like what Akame did was they just like took a left turn and
we're just
dude, for real. They like
the skateboard on a rock.
They messed up so hard because they took out a whole arc and then they changed characters' death and who lives, who dies, and everything. And it was horrible at the ending for it. Like the anime was like interesting to watch, but when you know what happened in the manga, it's just completely horrible.
There's some necessity to when something gets sad, but that was just unnecessarily sad.
Yeah.
Like they just did it because they could.
Yeah.
No story behind it. Just like they can die.
They're gonna die. I have the pen that hold in my hand. Is what color's this story like?
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like the animation team for that one was like, what story? And just went off on their own. They're like, oh yeah, they basically pulled Game of Thrones. They're like, it hasn't finished yet, and made their own ending. But
because that's what happened, right?
With Game of Thrones, he's not even done with the damn story, and they finished it off in the.
Wow.
So
controversy.
Did they finish it in the show because they were tired of waiting, basically?
I think so.
Yeah, because to be fair, that dude was not writing.
He was not doing anything.
And that was is our token or something like that. No, am I tripping?
Martin.
Yeah, Martin. There you go, Martin.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was like,
Tolkien is Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Hey, see, I know, but I don't know, guys. Like, very like.
No, dude, like, yeah, But I still.
I know. I was like, here's the center. I always hit like the outside of that,
But yeah, dude, like with the Game of Thrones, I could still kind of feel that he basically gave him an idea for an ending to fill out how people will feel about it. And then it fucking horrible, and he's like, "Well, that's
not going that way, not doing that."
He's like, "I'm not writing right now, but at least I know I don't want to go there."
That's wild. But like you said, back to what we were talking about. 25 episodes, you killed it. So you went ahead and you watched all of Attack on Titan in one day.
And that's still my favorite anime,
dude.
The only thing above the Fate series.
So that one is above the Fate?
That one is above Fate just because like what Attack on Titan did so well for me was like later on was something that I'm a big fan of, and I think you can tell from Fate Zero now that you've watched it is I'm such a huge fan of when a story is able to tell a compelling side from both sides where no one's necessarily the right or wrong. It's just you want to see both prevail, but you know that they're not going to. And it's like each side, because it was like with the Warriors and Attack on Titan, like I think Reiner was like the most well-written character in that show, like how he faced that dilemma of I want to be there for my friends, but I can't because I am forced to kill them. And like at one point, he's putting a gun in his mouth because he can't take it. And like, it was just such a very unique concept. And like everything came full circle. Everything seemed like it was planned from the start. Like authors really need to know how their show's going to end as they write their show to make it better, because every single thing like had a little callback. And if you go back and watch Attack on Titan after watching it now, you're gonna see these little subtle things. You go like, like a Leonardo DiCaprio.
We always
like, did you know in season 2 when they're at that Uthgard tower, all of them are about to fall and they're all about to die on this tower. You can see Berthold. He does this.
Yeah, they're about to.
He's about to bite his hand and transform.
Shut
you
up.
don't notice that.
Yeah, because you're focused on Ymir at that point. Yeah. But if you actually look, like Berthold's about to go off. He's like, well, we need to live.
We're down.
And then freaking Reiner's over there like, well, crap. Like you could see he's about to get ready too. But I did like the little like thing that I read later on that every warrior, only Aaron's like the one that naturally bites his hand. Like he's just naturally doing it.
Ring,
And he has the ring. The warriors use the knife. Everybody else used something else. But
it makes sense they wouldn't all think alike on that.
Yeah,
I never noticed that part.
But yeah, dude, it was like
each way to transform.
But like everybody else, but Aaron's is more primal. He's more like and that
rip some skin. Yeah.
Did you know in season 1 also there's a scene where after Marco dies, that Annie's like looking at his corpse saying, I'm sorry. And Reiner says there's nothing to do now, just leave. In the moment, you're just thinking, oh, Annie's just sorry she wasn't there to help him. No, Annie's saying sorry because she literally did help him when he was dying.
Yes.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I know, like later on, yeah.
Good afternoon. What is that? Messenger of Hala? Yo. Welcome in. We're talking Attack on Titan at the moment. There was another little tieback where it wasn't when Aaron hit his head, like on that, and the steam was coming up.
Yes.
It was dirt.
Everybody, like, when I first saw it, I legit thought it was anime thing. But then when I actually was reading the manga, and I was like, hold the hell up. And you would go back. Dude, I actually went back. Technically, I've watched Attack on Titan not all the way through, but up to season 3. 3 times.
Oh, okay.
7 times? No, because I only watched it. I watched it for myself.
David has to watch the first season.
So at least 7. So at least 6 times. At least 6 different people.
That's funny. Have you seen Attack on Titan? Let me show you.
He said, "Well, you're about to." Gets out the tape.
That thing with the steam,
you have no choice.
You think it's one of those anime tropes, and you realize, wait a minute, Attack on Titan doesn't do tropes.
No, it really doesn't.
Like, oh my god, that was from the Titan transformation.
Yes.
That's so cool.
I was like, yo, shut up. And then they were saying, I don't know how true it was, where he was in the shadows, passing them in like the foyer or something like that. There was a hooded character.
Yeah, that didn't actually happen in season 1, but in season 4, like it shows like a broader horizon, like it zooms out. He was there, so you don't actually see that in season 1, but like it still makes sense that he was there.
In one of the manga panels, I believe, you actually see that when Eren and his brother are going back, seeing all the memories, and I think it was Eren's first transformation into the Attack Titan, and he's like rampaging and killing all the other Titans. You could see it like pans out, and you see the big Eren hitting something, like hitting the person, but in the back, on the very far background, you see two little shadows that were never there.
Yeah.
So you actually, it's Zeke and Eren. It's them two actually just visiting the memory. So you could see it through a different set of eyes. And I was like, dude, oh my God.
Like, so do y'all think he wrote that backwards?
Yeah.
He wrote that thing backwards, you think? Or
he knew the end from the start.
He knew,
kind of like the author said he had to change the story because of how popular it got, but he knew how he was going to end it afterwards.
Yeah. He originally, I believe he said that the original concept of it, everybody did.
Yeah, he did.
Everyone did.
He said that,
Every single person that you like fell in love with in that character arc and everything.
Would y'all have liked that? Like,
it would have been interesting.
He said, look, I appreciate that he said, okay, not everyone will die, but a lot of them will. Some people said that he thinks they took like a dartboard of all of his characters and just like, okay, bye-bye. That's what people said.
That's a good one.
He also straight up said he wants to open up a spa and use the tears of his readers.
Yes.
He said that.
Yes.
He's such a maniac.
Dude. I heard he's actually starting to work on something again.
Really?
And at first, like, I was a little taken back about it because he first came out saying he's taking a break. He's not gonna.
Is that a Pikachu?
Hey, what's up, Johnny? That's my friend.
All right.
I think it's a Pikachu. Oh, it's a cat. But
yeah, he originally said that he wasn't going to write for a while, and then later on, like 6 months down the line, all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, he's starting to work on some stuff again." I was like, "So are you lying to us or what? Like, are you going to?"
Because that was his final goodbye. Is that what you're saying? The author
that
was
was his first and last.
First story.
Yeah,
first and final.
He's not the top.
Oh hell no! Well, I don't want to say
top Attack on Titan. Let's be honest, we're never getting another thing like Attack on Titan,
especially from him, because now you're going to start trying to think too much into it, and everybody's gonna.
Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's like the scene from Attack on Titan. He's got this comparison to this character." Okay.
But I mean, it's the same thing with the guy from One Punch, because he does Mob Psycho and Mashley.
Mob Psycho.
Yeah,
that's the writer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
He loves Mob Psycho.
Yeah. Dude, the guy that does One Punch also does Mashley and Mob Psycho.
Nice.
And I was like, I'm reading Mashley right now because you
we're gonna go through it.
And I'm like, all I see is One Punch. Like, that's all I like. The story is pretty interesting. It's a little like, okay, like, I like more of the power structure of it than I actually do the story, because the story is still kind of like leaving me wanting. But
so the power, how they have their power, okay,
yeah, the power scaling of it, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But overall, I'm kind of like, eh. But it has that very like comedic vibe. So I'm like, yeah, I think you would like it definitely.
Okay. And this is Mob.
No, the Mashley.
Mashley. Okay, Mashley.
Harry Potter anime.
Yeah. That's Harry Potter muscle.
Great opening too.
Dude, yeah.
So that was we were gonna do that one and Code Geass. Unfortunately, I haven't started either or, obviously, because I just killed the Phase Zero. But yeah, you were excited about
voting for Code Geass. I'll tell you that much.
Code Geass was so good.
So I'm excited.
I remember the first time I watched it.
For Code Geass Phase Zero, really similar in terms of their like anti-hero type of vibe.
Yeah,
love a good anti-hero.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of people compare Code Geass or Attack on Titan to Code Geass.
Yeah.
Really?
What the main character was like willing to do.
And Code Geass came before Attack on Titan.
It's dated, but it still looks great.
It's still good.
It's dated, but it has like that really crisp and nice art style.
I love the Gundam feel to it too.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it. Ready? Because again, I remember it. The name stood out to me. I was like, why does that sound so familiar? I was like, so I feel like I came across it. Didn't like again. That's what I'm saying. I was. One of those ones that again didn't like follow my own path. Like it wasn't until like mainly talk about by everybody, then I would jumping on the hype train or whatever. At that time. Yeah. Now I'm more again just seeing something and I if I enjoy it I'll take off on it.
Yeah.
So but alrighty, yeah, we're we were talking Attack on Titan because that was his
favorite.
Here,
you're gonna find a way to talk
about dude, that's what I'm saying. I knew we were gonna go down anime rabbit holes and all that good stuff. So, but we're going to talk about Fate a little bit. We'll probably stray off one more time. Or several more times.
We need like one of those hammers that Johnny have.
Order! But yeah, so he had been, mentioning it. I had talked to him in passing, and I told him, hey, I was like, I'm getting into anime. I have a podcast. I heard you like anime, and then he just goes off on a list, and I was like, no, I haven't watched that. No, I haven't watched that. It was like same situation. I was about to say it was the same Emmanuel conversation.
That was a joy. Like a real, like someone who's watched a bunch of anime feels when someone says, "Hey, what should I watch?" Like, oh, buddy, let me.
I got a book right here.
Honestly, I told him the best way I could describe it is rewatching it through your your excitement, because I've already watched it. I already know what's coming on. I still get hyped. But your excitement makes it like I'm rewatching it for the first time again, because it's just like, oh yeah. I noticed it when you guys were watching the last episode. You don't even look at the screen anymore. You just look at them to see the reaction. That's what he's doing.
When you saw him give her the knife, you just muttered and you went,
"You mother!"
It's just like I do that crap all the time, and I realize later because my wife and my daughter, and sometimes like, "Why are you looking at me?" I'm like, "I know what's happening. I can play this in my head."
Let me relive my happiness to your experience. Feel this pain that I felt. Let me enjoy it.
That's the truth. Right
put
there.
The camera right here, reaction cam. You know what I mean? Like
when my wife first saw the I'm going to go back to Attack on Titan real quick. When she first saw the Gabby shooting Eren, dude, she lost. She lost. She got up out of her seat, ran around the house real quick.
Don't you
kind of just stood there. She's like, "What the hell?" And then she had to come back and sit down like after 5 minutes. And I was just like, dude, that's what I like to see. Like, because I'm like, you when you have that love for it.
What was it that you were waiting on? Was it Claymore? That you were waiting for me to text you to like say, because I usually do. I'm like, what the F? Or like, are you effing kidding me? Like,
everything in one day.
And so when I told him that exactly. We're about to break it down, but I would tell him that, and he would be like, he's like, oh, you're there, huh? Or he's like, oh, you finally saw that episode, and then. I left him just hanging on the last 10 episodes.
My friend just messaged me saying that he just started Attack on Titan. Yeah. And he said he started last week. I just got a text from him 2 days ago saying, "I hate Gabby."
Dude, he kind of made me nervous because I know we were gonna do the pod about Claymore, and he just went silent. He never not texting me about something, and I'm working, so sometimes I'm like, oh hey, I need to text David. Oh, back to work, and I'm like.
That Saturday, Saturday.
He's like, we're still. Yo, are we good this week still? He's like, oh yeah,
what?
He's like, yeah. I already got here and here. I was like, oh damn, I was expecting some reaction out of you. I'm like, did you even like it?
Ruined. But yeah, I left him completely hanging on that.
June?
Junin? What's up? Yes, the anime catalog is crazy these days.
It's very, very big now.
Again, it's just you have your newer ones, and that's what I'm trying to do as well on the show. We're trying to do a newer one and an older one, something, and that's why we're doing Mashley and Code Geass, because he was the one that referenced, an older one, Code Geass, and then again Mashley for the more up to date, current ones.
Well, because somebody was suggesting Code or Mashley to you, and then I was like,
I had a couple people, mention that.
It's crazy to think that Fate Zero is now one of those older ones now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's over a decade old. And
2013, right?
Yeah. It does not look like it either.
Dude, that's what we were talking about. Just briefly, and then even at the very end with Arthur's, goodbye, on the
God, on top of those corpses.
Dude, the backgrounds, the scene with the caster in the river, you know what I mean? Dude,
that is amazing.
It was CGI, beautiful. I was like, yo,
CGI wouldn't have a bad rep to it.
Yeah, and then even on blow up scenes, they had Ufotable has a way of showing fire no other anime for some reason. It just shows like, I don't know, the detail in the flame, I guess. I don't know, but I could just tell it's different, and Ufotable is the one that
looks hot.
Exactly. God damn! Like, who opened the stove? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just got burned. Yeah, my eyebrows freaking out.
Like, why can't I feel it through the TV?
So, like, Ufotable is like, for it to be in 2013 and look like that, it is even more understandable that mansion explosion was as beautifully done, you know what I mean? Like, on Demon Slayer, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
remember you were talking about, like,
when you compare
about a mansion exploding, I hadn't watched it yet. You're like, dude, when it exploded, it was something like, what do you want? Oh,
we're there? Yeah. We're there now?
Yeah, dude. That was freaking amazing. But that's why I can't wait for the freaking fights to come up right now.
So, do you know what's Ufotable's next project? Do you have an idea of what they're producing at the moment?
About Ufotable is, like, they make the most highest quality anime you will watch, but they do not take on many projects. They actually started, from what I know, adapting a lot of video game trailers. Okay. I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head, but they started with a lot of video game stuff. Fates was really their first step. Like, that was the one that they adapted, and they said, we want this to be our staple. And the thing that sucks is like, when you think of Ufotable, if you do know it by name, you think of Demon Slayer, which, it makes sense because... if I'll be honest with you, if someone were to ask me what is the most beautiful anime you could watch in terms of its visual appeal, I will say Demon Slayer, because I think that's just objectively the true answer. But it started with Fate, and you can see how. And the thing that I'm very fortunate about, even though you're done with Fate Zero, is that you're going to branch off into Unlimited Blade Works, which came out in 2015. Then you're going to go to Heaven's Feel, which has 3 movies. One came out in 2018, one in 2019, and one in 2020. And the thing that's great about those is that the 2021 that came out like the same exact like month that Upper Moon 6 fight was. You remember?
Yes.
Upper Moon 6 was? So you are going to see an entire Fate movie with that level of adaptation and like type of animation.
That'll be
there's
amazing.
A reason why people call Unlimited Blade Works Unlimited Budget Works, because
that anime
was the one that you got introduced.
That was my first Fate introduction, was Unlimited Blade Works. And
if you're not following, guys, we got a whiteboard. Let us know. I'll bring it out. We can draw a map. But we'll do it if anyone asks. Like, where are we right now?
You need me to do the thing now.
But okay, so Unlimited Blade Works is where you came in, right?
That's the first one I watched.
What most people say is their favorite, and it makes a lot of sense.
But which of the 3? Since he said there's 3 of them, the movie or
no,
Unlimited Heaven's Feel, okay, Unlimited Blade Works
is 25-episode series.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's its own thing. But man, got it. My brother got me into that, and when I was like watching it, I was just like, dude, this is fucking good. Like, it's crazy how well that was done. And then
no one talks about it either.
No, it really is
all done by Ufotable, right? Yeah, all produced. Okay, so
it really is underappreciated. Like, kind of how I feel like with Claymore. Like, Claymore doesn't look as good, but the story is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The Fate series is really well done, like, visual wise, and the story is incredible too. Like, it's so good, like how well they put that together.
Demon Slayer, most people complain about it, saying it doesn't have a story. Okay, you want something with beautiful animation and a great story? Go watch Fate, the thing they did before.
Dude, and that's why I was wondering, because they flex their budget. They definitely flex their budget 100%, and you can tell that it's not. They do not pick up just any project, like you said. You know what I mean? Because their money is going to go into what they're doing at that very moment.
The anime they're working on is still Demon Slayer. That's it. I heard they're supposed to be adapting a Genshin Impact anime.
Ooh.
They announced that like 2 years ago, though, and they have said nothing about it.
After that,
Genshin Impact will be interesting.
Yeah.
That's not even crossed my radar at one point or another.
It's not anime, it's a game.
Yeah, it's a video game. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah. But no, dude, like Ufotable, I would love Ufotable to take on something like Claymore because of how, like, later on, like, you didn't even get to the best parts.
Yeah.
You got up to like a certain point where it was interesting. But the later on, like, fights
the
and the
answers
later on,
and like finding out why there was male claymores and all that stuff.
It just, well, not just the answers, like the visual effects for later on. Like, have you ever read Claymore?
I haven't read it. I've watched the anime.
Okay, no, like very the last, I think where you end, like the last like 15-ish mangas, dude. The level of growth that these like awakened beings take on is just crazy. And the fight scenes, dude, there's one scene, and my wife, like me and her, still talk about it because it's like one of our favorite scenes on that. It's like the last battle, last volume too.
Okay, and
I believe it's the last volume, either right around there. But there's one scene. It's not even anything spectacular, but a character comes back, and like one of these huge monsters, like an abyssal creature, comes in and tries to attack her, and she just freaking headbutt, boom, and she's like, "Quiet, I can't hear Claire talk," and it's just like,
okay.
Like, yo, and like
power level must be up here,
dude. Like the floor cracks underneath her headbutt, like that's like, and it's just like that. The level of like how amazing
it could have been.
Look, I was just like, I would love Ufotable to get to that point, like. You could, like, I almost want to be like, skip all the beginning, Ufotable, just get the end. But you have to do the beginning now because otherwise, like, people coming in won't understand it. Yeah.
So, in your opinion, like that fight scene, so you read the manga of Fate as well?
Yes.
So, that river scene, for example, like, did they do that river scene with the caster justice, or did they, like, over the top, like, just smashed out the freaking park?
It's the same exact thing with Demon Slayer, because if you watch Demon Slayer, it's boring. I'm going to be honest with you, like, Demon Slayer is boring. But, like, Infinity Castle is great in the manga, and it's going to be great in the anime. The thing is, Ufotable takes something and makes it amazing. Like, the manga for Fate is good, but a lot of what they did is what makes it amazing. Because, like I said, Demon Slayer is pretty damn boring as a manga, I won't lie. But if any other studio were to adapt Demon Slayer would not be as popular as it was.
I don't think so.
If any other studio got a hold of Demon Slayer, it would not be as popular.
Not even Mappa?
No. Because Mappa has to divide your attention with like the 10 other things they're doing.
Yeah.
And it would still not be as good as what Ufotable does.
But I mean, let me put it this way too. Mappa had One Punch and the last season of Attack on Titan.
JJK.
And JJK looked better, I think, than the other two though. But with the way those two looked, imagine Demon Slayer with that type of animation. Yeah. It won't look as clean. It won't look as vibrant. Where Ufotable puts all their effort into this freaking thing. Like, I think Ufotable definitely put Demon Slayer on the map because of them.
Ufotable's very good at making things look beautiful. Mappa nails grittiness, though. That's what Mappa nails. They nail that gritty like aspect, which I'm glad Fate didn't fall under, because Fate could definitely fall under that if they needed to. But like they said, we're making Fate beautiful, and they did.
Because it was a story, man. Like you said, it wasn't just an anime. It wasn't about just a character that was thrown in there. There was a reason for every character. There was, like his bodyguard Maya, that had the, I don't know, dog. I mean, there was just dude, there was no little light.
They dropped like flies in that second intro, dude. It's crazy. Like, I was if there's that one death this episode, there's 2 deaths the next episode. That's why.
Sorry, I didn't have enough time. This episode, I'm about to give you 2. There you go.
So I didn't get a chance to ask you, though, because literally all the stuff that he said he was going to watch Fate, I have not talked to him about anything he's watched. I want to know, from the top of your head, what part broke you the most in terms of like the entirety of Fate? What part just made you go, he said this is dark, but this stuff's hurting me right now?
I think it was the moment when Iskandar tells Velvet, like, don't look. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you broke Iskandar's like strength, like he went Mormid for the first time. Like, he was just like a jolly green giant this whole time, this red giant, and then like just shows the back end of this guy, in complete like shock, and tells his homie, like, or Velvet, his master, don't look.
Oh, you're talking about the corpse.
Yes, and the corpse. That one was, I was just like, they had been talking about a killing spree. They've been talking about someone going against the Order of the Grail, or like outside the realms of the rules. You know what I mean? That scene right there, I was just like, good. God. And then they had to just torch it all.
Waver was trying to be strong. He said, dude, don't look at this. And then when Waver's like, stop making fun of me, he said, if anyone could look at this and not like frown,
then I would punch you. I would punch you. You know what I mean? Like, to like bring you back to reality.
It's not time to mourn. It's a time for action. Like he's saying everything that needs to be said, but he's saying it in all the right ways.
Yeah. And it just shows
that's when they found Castor's
lair. Yeah. So
because that dude, his master was freaking crazy.
Serial killer. Yeah.
What's his name?
Ryunosuke, yeah. I even like the way they found the layer, which was with that, alchemy, with chemistry, yeah. I was just like, he wasn't just a guy, so. But yeah, that one right there. When he hopped out, he's like turns around and finds all the kids, and it shows all the body parts and all. And he just wants to throw up. I was just like that moment right there. I was like, all right, we kill children 100% here. Children are not safe in this anime. That guy.
You learn them immediately.
You're free to go. Dead.
It's most fresh. When light is so apparent, then the second it's taken away, that's when fear is at its peak for me.
He was so messed up, man. That dude was wicked.
You can't lie that even though he's messed up, he added some sauce to the show.
I'm telling you, just his final outing, just went hard. He's like, this is what I'm here for. You want a display? I'm about to show you.
You've ever seen oh my god, what's he doing, man?
Dude,
you're a villain, but I'm hyped for you,
dude. That's what I'm saying. You make that point. This, they know how to not only make you root for the bad guy or the good guy, they're making you root for the bad guy as well. You're just what are they capable of?
A little skill. Go all out.
Yeah. And that again, their noble phantasm was what also always took their thing to the next level. They were bad already, or they were with power. Now they got another level. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, dude, that moment was, and then the other gut wrenching one was when he who is it? Korea. Korea. He was it Abigail? Is it who Tosaka's wife?
Oh, the green hair girl?
Yeah, green hair.
Aoi was her name.
Aoi, there you go. So when he choked her out, when she told him you didn't love nobody, but he loved her. You know what I mean?
That monologue in his head, it was so calm.
Oh yes, I know.
Strangling her, dude.
He's killing her. He's so those two moments, I was just like, goodness, we're saying goodbye to all these characters that didn't even deserve these kind of deaths. You know what I mean? Homegirl with the arm, losing the seal, you know what I mean? Kitty Sigu went and told Maya.
Lancer's death is the one that was the saddest part in the show.
Oh yeah, because he was was it the End of Honor? I think it was episode of End of Honor, I believe. He was so pissed. He was honorable the whole time, and he's like, you couldn't just give me the one.
He was in on it. That was the worst part.
Yeah, dude, that had to have messed up Saber's dot concept for a little bit.
Because they were such a good duo. I remember. Iskandar said, episode 5 was my favorite, one of my favorite episodes, because it showed everyone fighting, and he helps Lancer.
I think you were even excited for me to see it. Yeah,
I was really excited for you to watch episode 5, because it was my favorite. You could see everyone. He said the flowers of the battlefield must bloom, and that's why he helped Lancer, and they had a constant respect for each other, and the one thing that he asked is to respect the respect they have for each other and let them duel, and he didn't even get that. And he deserved it, but he didn't get it.
Dude, it was rough.
But Kiritsugu showed, I'm the main character of this story. He said, there is no such thing as heroes in this world. There's no such thing as, a hero who can blind everyone with this light. No, we're all, war criminals, essentially. Yeah. There's nothing that we've done that's made us progress past the Stone Age, and I will take on every evil in this world to show that if I can save everyone, and that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, yeah, he had a rough one. Again, the boat scene, Natalia, who else? Shirley. Yeah. Jeez Louise. Again, to see and then kill his dad with no remorse, dude. Just a wicked anime, man. It tugs at the heartstrings, and then it's giving you that seed that gets you to the end, where at the last 2 episodes where he denies the Holy Grail. He had to kill, Ilya in his, in the Grail. Dude, I was just like, God.
And the whole dilemma with, who do you save? 100 people on this boat.
And I love how you did that. So this guy, that's how he gave away the anime without giving away the anime. He told me, he's like, he's like, what can I tell you that, will hook you on this anime? And then he, gives that ultimatum. He's like, okay, there's 500 people on a ship, 300 here, 200 here. Who do you go with? And then he explains it. And then I was just like, what? He was like, that's the dilemma. He's like,
watch it. You guys want to see a series where the main character is not someone who just fights for the ones he loves. If you want to see the embodiment of a character who saves the mass over the ones he loves, watch Fate Zero and get your heart broken with all of us right now. It's amazing.
It was well written. Again, the only part that started getting me was like towards the middle. Like again, I think I stopped writing my notes, but it's like episode.
Now it's time for questions.
Discussing the Grail and like it was after Ren's big adventure. Yeah, so when they were like talking about the Grail, it was Tosaka and Kotomine,
mm-hmm.
and they were basically saying what was right and what was. They were basically testing their strengths, trying to bend the rules to their liking, and that's when it was like, who was against two at that time, you know?
Yeah, if that's your question. So from the very beginning, Kirei, he had no ambition. He had nothing that he wanted to do with the Grail War. He was being thrown into it because he worked with the church. The church was very fond of the Tosaka family, and the Tosaka, what they believed in was finding the root. They say that a lot. What the root means is it's the pinnacle of magic. It's basically for when humans achieve like the most like efficiency that a human can get, and the church respects this route, and that's why Kirei was basically put into this war. They are working together. It is against the rules, though.
What she called him something something with an I.
Inquisitor.
A
Holy Inquisitor. That's someone who is basically sent out by the church to assassinate people who don't believe in what they believe in or work against it. Those people who
So why was Tosaka shocked that Kotomine went to go take out Airi and Maya? Because that's what she revealed, right?
He had a deep fascination with Kiritsugu, and he did not like it. He wanted to kill Kiritsugu, and to him, Tosaka was basically just like, Tokiomi Tosaka was like, you're going to help me, and that's all you're here for. But then Kirei started straying down his own path, where you even had that talk with Gilgamesh where he's like, hey, tell me about all those people you spied on. And then he says, you talked about Kaguya in great detail. Why? And he said, because it was intricate. And he said, no, it's because you took fascination with it, and you're finding what it is that you like. And that's where he starts to unravel a bit, and he says, what I like? That's preposterous. I don't have any desires. But then he finds out through this that killing, that basically being a big piece of shit is his desire. Like, because the show basically ends with him like
killing the world.
Yeah, he watches the world burn, and that was his wish.
And he wants to travel the world to see that it went to that full extent.
Yes.
Right? It wasn't just the city. It wasn't the city that just wasn't burned in ashes. I want to go see the world. Like, that was wicked. I'll tell you, that dude was freaking wicked. It took 5 years for life to reborn. Is that what that was showing?
Yes.
So then now Unlimited Blade Works is the branch of during that 5 year gap?
Yes.
Okay.
So Shiro basically saying, I'll be a hero for you, and then Saber seeing that light, that's her other chance to win the Grail, because
under him?
Yes, because spoilers, which aren't very big spoilers, happened in the first episode. Shiro summons Saber as his servant. That's why she sees that light, because realistically, if you're a fan of Saber, Fate Zero is a rough watch for you. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because Fate Zero is Saber's maturing arc. She is constantly ridiculed and is called a little girl by Iskandar that entire series, and she just brushes it off like, you're just a tyrant. But then she realizes, oh my god, this is what he's been trying to tell me. And it really is sad for Saber, because she
didn't know it was wrong.
Yeah.
She's
always been trying to do the right thing, which she never was failing to do. But she sees that even when you try to do the right things, there are people who will suffer, and she couldn't see that. Unlimited Blade Works, she is a much more mature woman, and she like poses herself in a much different way. She is still the kind, chivalrous knight that she is, but she is willing to make more sacrifices if must be made. It's really incredible to see her transformation, and that's part of the reason why seeing the Stay Night route, which was Saber's route, get a poor adaptation really hurts me as a Fate fan, because Saber is the face of the Fate series.
Yeah.
And knowing that her route is the weakest solely due to a poor adaptation, that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts real bad.
And what made it poor? Was it they ran out of time to make it, or
no? It was a different animation studio.
It was Dean Studios, which had a very poor anime adaptation of it in terms of like its animation, and there was a lot of translation errors, and like just there was a magic that I tell you that Ufotable puts in a series that was not put into that route. Which I'm not trying to say Dean is terrible, but like
they should have given a little bit more love to it.
Imagine you get like a gourmet burger from like a 5-star restaurant, then you go to McDonald's. That's what the gourmet burger is state zero right now in Ufotable's annotation.
In and out.
Then
I'll play.
state night is like in and out. Looking at you.
See, you know what? I figured it was going to come from him. I figured it was going to come from him, not you.
In and out. But for sure, okay. Then okay. So that 5-year gap. Yeah, we're jumping around all the way through, but nonetheless, I'm finding your again the love for this anime due to the fact that it was just so deep. It wasn't just like you said. It wasn't power of will, like you just said. You know, it wasn't power of friendship. There was nothing. Each one had its sole purpose and their sole one goal. And this, and each one, you know, especially Iskandar. Again, homie was confident the whole time. He was like, homie was like, join me, like you're a cool cat, like you know what I mean, like dude, I'm telling you, like at that moment when he realized that Gilgamesh was his final battle, he knew, like he just
be my retainer though,
dude. So do you, in knowing all this. Burning those 3 those commands, was it worth it? Like, do you think like he should have? Yeah, no, for Velvet.
Waver.
Yeah.
So the thing that I loved about Waver in this story was Waver was the guy who just wanted to prove himself. Like
he was a little kid being picked on.
The best servant and master dynamic was undoubtedly Waver and Iskandar because they are the polar opposites and they're clashing heads from the very first episode. And seeing their developments and how they care for one another is so beautiful because Waver doesn't burn those command seals for no reason. He burns them because he respects Iskandar and he truly feels that if Iskandar is to win, he's better off without him. He didn't do that because he's a coward. He did that because he wanted what was best for Iskandar because he
saw his dream, right?
Yeah,
he wanted him to,
his dream, and he saw himself as someone that would get in the way of that. And he burns all 3 of these to command him to go. And Iskandar says, while I will do those 3 silly wishes you made, I hope you plan to see this through with me because you're my friend now. And when he said that you're my friend now, I felt that in my heart. And it was just so sad because there was another little speech he had where he told Waver, hey, pull out a map right now. And can you make an accurate size to both of us on this map? And he says, no, that would be, and he says, impossible, right? Because the truth is, you and me, while I'm greater in stature, we're still just these 2 little dots on the same map, and this world is enormous. That is why I conquer, and that is why I'm so excited to conquer, because I am just a little dot on this great world, and that is why you are equal to the task as well, because you're also that small dot.
Yeah.
And it was just such everything that man said was a quote.
Yeah.
That man is like the embodiment of wisdom.
Yeah, homie was like real, and then he learned it, like you said, he respected him at the beginning. He's like, do you want me to use a command seal to, make you obey me or something like that? He's like, you would waste a command seal, he's like, no, that is
the best development.
So 100%. So I like that.
But I think because he was so young compared to everybody else in that aspect.
Oh, yeah.
And outside of, what's his name? Ryunosuke? Like, Ryunosuke was unhinged. Yeah. Everybody else was already set in their ways. Waver had a point to prove, but also was still able to be molded. I think he was still in school at that point, too.
Yeah, he was talking about it there at the end.
The whole reason he joined was because he wanted to, not get made fun of. He literally said he wanted to prove himself back. Those people made him look like an idiot. And then Iskandar just flicked him and said, small! What a stupid desire that is.
Yeah.
Maybe grow a few inches. How would that be your wish?
It just, for him, that's
what's good, Eli? Tuning in on the special episode. If you know Fate, jump on in. That's what we're talking about. We are going through it. We're on the Iskandar right now. Iskandar, what's his last name? Oh my god,
he's Alexander the Great.
I was about to say I don't think they give a last name for Iskandar, but he is
actually the title given to Alexander the Great. That's why he's called that for short.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Which is what I find interesting too, because I was looking at if I'm looking at this, Saber is Atoria.
King Arthur.
Yeah, but it's King Arthur, but it's Horia
Rendition.
Pendergrass. So unless you recognize the name off the top of your head, you're not gonna see it. And then it's just like I think, well, who else?
Lancer was the Ermud.
That one got spit.
That name was when I was.
It was. I saw Deermutt. I saw Deeramu. I saw all kinds of captions. So I just felt Dr.
Caster was Bluebeard, who was the whole thing with Caster. By the way, why he was so obsessed with Saber is he was basically like the right hand to Jeanne d'Arc. In which, by the way, the shirt. See how it looks like Saber, kind of.
Yeah.
There's this thing in the Fate series that exists called the Saber Face Syndrome.
There's
a lot of female characters who look like Saber. And that's what happened with Blackbeard. He thought that Saber
and then you see that on his last on his last breath, he's like Jeanne d'Arc, holds out.
Yeah. I got a text saying your mic's still going in now, so I don't know if it's...
You want to go ahead and just move it in the middle? See,
I don't know, because I just got it right now, so we haven't had anybody else say anything yet.
Yeah, I was moving.
If there's any audio issues, let us know. That way we can maybe move around some stuff.
It really has been years, Eli. Like, where you been, man? Hope you're okay.
He heard about Fate.
He saw the title. I'm gonna share it one more time.
Man, but dude, like, was it the Amor? For Lancer, because Lancer was
he does know. That's why. Look, he said Caster was paired with the Killer. Yep.
Yeah.
The whole reason why Ryunosuke got paired with Caster was apparently because his family was doing rituals. Like, if you remember, he was doing that thing. Like, he was putting blood on his nose, and he was just like making these weird sigils in the ground. That's how he summoned him. Yeah.
Lancer was my personal favorite. I just like the way that he held his honor so high and everything. Like, Lancer was just something, and then having the two different noble phantasms, and basically, one was like basically passing armor.
Yeah, one bypassed magic, one made wounds that could not be healed.
Yeah, and it was just like that was so.
The red
cool.
sword, right?
Yeah,
no, the yellow one was the kept the cast. Right?
Yeah. He broke a lance.
Mm-hmm.
He broke one of the lances to help Saber because the thing that you wanted to prevail was not himself; it was chivalry, and it did to take against the Caster.
Dude, but
he nerfed himself.
Yeah, because because at that point it wasn't oh my gosh, Saber was still injured because that thing can never and he was just like, well, I need her to be at her best too. Broke his own damn phantasm.
When Lancer first showed up, that was insane. Oh yeah, we were just telling David about that. I was like, oh, they kill kids in anime. Yeah, they do. They're not afraid
Zeros. They said we are gonna just kill every.
I have a big question for me.
Yeah.
Just because, like how you were saying that with Caster, his family was doing rituals and everything, you could almost choose which summon you're gonna get.
So, if you are smart about it, yes. Because if you remember correctly at the beginning of the show, Tokyo was saying we have one. I found the first ever snakeskin that was shed by a snake on this world. They knew what that would summon. It was Gilgamesh. And you guys have seen Gilgamesh. Yeah. This guy is the strongest dude in the series. That's why he straight up said, we've won.
Well, how did he know by a snakeskin?
Because that was the catalyst for Gilgamesh. Because Gilgamesh's whole lore was he was the first ever hero. And that's why Gilgamesh
and Eve.
Yeah, that's why he was the first ever... that's why he's so greedy. Because this whole ideology is... I was the first ever hero, and when I was a hero, everything of desire belonged to me. And right now, I'm back, and everything in the world belongs to me. And anyone who has anything that belongs to me is a criminal and deserves to be punished, and I will kill you.
Yes.
Give me what I want.
Yes.
Bro was so conceited.
He was amazing.
He said, he smelled the wine. He didn't even taste it. He's like, you call this,
But I love how each of them kind of have their own thing, because Gilgamesh is the king of heroes, and then you have
King of
Alexander,
Conquerors,
who is the king of conquerors, and then Saber, who is the king of knights. And I was just like, it's really cool that they kind of have their own thing, but then Gilgamesh also acknowledges them too, because
let me show you your one true king, or something. He always said, "You're kings in your own right, but I am the one true king." You know what I mean? Like, boy, and then again, the garden scene was just like, was the realization for Arthur, just like, them, coming together on what was that? Like on a treaty or at that moment, it was the assassins that broke it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I was.
Oh my God, another great quote from Iskandar said, "This wine is to be your blood, come enjoy it with us."
Oh, and then they hit him.
And he hit it and said, If you wish it spilled, this wine is your blood.
Dude, that was
hard. Like, boy was like, bet.
Definition of aura, yes. Gilgamesh is the definition of aura. There is
even at the end, naked on the rock.
Dude.
He said, "I don't know either, bro. I was just naked here, pulling you out of the rubble." But
people talk about like Gojo and his aura. Let me tell you about the one who did it first. Let me tell you about this dude named Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh was dude. He was something else. When every time he like took over every time he popped up.
Dude, this guy's quoting everything from the first episode. That scene where he sees the assassin, he says, "Who gave you the right to look at me?"
Yeah,
and then he sends those spears. He says, "Don't you know a worm's supposed to face the ground and it dies?" And then sends another one.
Dude.
That was a good one.
Dude,
so they really are freaking great. Like, there's like. I didn't do it to annoy my kids, but Infinity Endgame with Thanos and all his quotes, I love it. But this dang show, this is just so good. Like
the best one, Berserker.
Dude.
Also, wasn't that another crazy twist? You don't know the entire reason why Berserker ignores everything, goes after Saber until
the whole time,
until later,
yeah,
and it all connects.
When she like breaks in, she's like, "What is this obsession with me? Like, do I know him? Like, And then when he removes his helmet and just man, I was
someone was saying,
what?
I saw like on a subreddit for like the Fate series because Berserker's noble phantasm is whatever he touches becomes his noble phantasm.
Yes.
Right? So what happens if he does a handstand?
On the
earth? The whole world becomes his noble phantasm.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be dope. But
what I found, dude, the jet
plane
was awesome.
Dude, I'm telling you,
him and Gilgamesh flying, dude, that was so sick.
No, Berserker.
But Berserker and
Gilgamesh, yeah. And then I like the instant stop, and then or like they flip and he's not chasing.
Dude, it was so good.
Berserker's effects were freaking legit. Like I love that smoke aura, and then at the end when he was revealing himself, the aura just disappearing, the smoke was just disappearing. I was like, dude, I was like, yo.
But they had altered Berserker. Didn't they?
So what they did was basically a lot of what people do is when they summon the Berserker is the Berserker isn't always insane.
Yeah.
But they can add a madness enhancement to it to make it stronger.
Yeah.
And pretty much every single Berserker that you see in the Fate series has that because it just boosts them. Because servants actually have stats.
Got it.
Yeah.
And basically everyone who summons a Berserker says,
that's
I make him stronger if I make him mad. Yeah, let's do that.
Is that his noble phantasm?
No,
anger?
that the master can boost.
Yeah, the master can mess up with Berserker's mind.
If you remember when Kario was summoning Berserker, Zoken Mato said, "I added the affinity to your servant Madness. Hope you enjoy." And Berserker was pretty batshit insane.
Yeah.
I was tripping about the when he transformed into Iskandar, and Arthur was tripping too. Like, I know for a fact
in his lore of the actual Lancelot was able to disguise himself and he pretended to be other knights because he was a very devious and like basically he was trying to get the attention of King Arthur. Like, hey, can you actually punish me and do your job? And King Arthur never did, and that's basically what led him to madness because he basically tried to put himself on this road of self-destruction, hoping his king would intervene and stop him. But
and that's what he was talking about there at the end.
That's why Saber That's why Saber was so sad about this because, realistically, when you rely on someone to punish you, the person who didn't punish you, it's not their fault, realistically. But like to him, it was, and to Saber, it ended up being because she lost a friend.
Yeah,
and that was made it so sad.
Yeah, what I like is a assassin not being one entity.
Yes.
It's several different people because it just like
the personalities or whatever that they talked about. Yeah.
And I was just like, that is so cool because everybody does assume, they killed assassin. It's over for that team. Yeah, dude, it was so like I was like, damn, that is really a awesome like way to have a servant be able to go around and do the reconnaissance.
The thing is, that's the weakest servant, and he's still that cool.
Yeah, yeah. But I like how you're saying, like in terms of stats, I feel like his strength and everything is so low, but that if we go like D&D stats, the dexterity to hide and everything is insane. Like this dude is able to be like, nah, I'm still hitting. Like you thought you saw me, but it was like casting mirror image.
Yeah.
That was a pretty that was a concept and then they got the meeting, they thought you killed him, and then he comes back. It says the assassin's back or whatever. You know what I mean? So it just you thought you got them all, but you didn't get them all. You know what I mean? So that is again. I didn't know there was multiple personalities. I thought it was just different face masks or whatever. It wasn't until they said, "Oh, these are with different personalities."
Yeah.
Like, this is wicked. Like,
yeah, dude, it was really cool.
I just again overall, just the in depth to each storyline that you're getting a build up, but it wasn't consecutive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then you find out when Kiritsugu reveals, you know, he can manipulate time. That one threw me. I was like, you know, time, dude. I was like, whoa, what? He's got magic. I was like, I thought this dude was just a hitman, you know, good with the guns. You know what I mean? And he like was able
to. The mage killer, but you expect the mage killer to be a mage himself. That's what makes Kiritsugu so cool because he'll use magic, but it's said that he's a mage killer, so he deals with mages in the most unlikely mage way someone would do it. And that's, for example, blowing up a plane. Because mages, they try to do things in seclusion. He doesn't care about that. He'll kill you, and he doesn't care how.
Didn't he take out like a whole freaking building for or something?
Canis for Canis.
Dude, like,
and then homie, homie came back. I was like, when he came back to the mansion, I was like, God damn it, this dude's still here. Like, what the hell?
I thought you got got.
Yeah, I thought you got caught. You know, but then we get.
He's talking about Kirei now. Kirei is like the holy blades he had, dude. You saw Kirei and Kiritsugu fight. What do you think of that?
So that was intense. He said it was a dull way to go out, like the way they like finished the battle. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was wicked because you get those origin bullets. And, you know, you thought it was done when they went into the blade and everything. And then it just did the, you know, red and then it shattered. And then again, Kiritsugu being, you know, on top of his thing and analyzation, he was like, oh, that's his freaking seal, you know, mana, not his mana. So he's not getting corrupted. Like,
he ruptured his heart with just one attack, but he healed it because
he got the what is it? Avalon. There we go. Avalon. The seed or whatever. Yep. So I was like, yo.
And that's what I like too with Saber too. Like you had her sword, but the actual like freaking scabbard still had its own like effect too. And I was like, that is awesome.
Yeah,
it wasn't one and the same.
I just feel too when you thought she died.
Yeah.
But when Saber came by, she came back and you were like,
I was like, hold up, homie, just. And you bleed red. And that's when I
oh
was.
My God, when he said you do bleed, that was
cold, bro. I was like, you do bleed red. I was like, what is going on?
Maniac.
Just menace, bro. Again, and then the way he like knocks out Maya. Again, Maya just trying her best. You know,
Dude, when he broke the entire tree that he was like basically wrapped around.
So how do you do that with his mana? Is that what? Because I didn't know. Really I didn't see him doing any pulling motion. It was just like knocking. No. And so I was like, he has to be using his mana. I was like, yo. But again, to have Ari have those powers, or Iris. You know, Irisville, you know, having those powers, I was just like, thank God. You know, homie helped her out. You know,
she had such a pretty power. Too.
Yeah, that little hawk or whatever. Like, it was
so cool.
Oh, it was really good.
That's such a ufotable type of thing to animate too. Like,
it was really well done.
Power like that.
Yeah. Even Pretty don't do shit. Pretty don't kill nobody. But dude, again, that one was a wicked scene. That fight scene. You get a little taste, but then again goes to the battle with Kiritsugu and them. And homie had some hands. He was like, yo, if I'm in a close short range distance, I'm at a disadvantage. Like, you know what I mean? Because homie was ready to throw. Oh, yeah. But because he was moving at 2 times speed as well, right? Yeah. And then I was just like, yo, that's... And then he used it squared, I think. Squared, you know, he said something. Quad times or something like that. I was just like, yo...
time alter.
Yeah.
Accelerate,
So it was a good one, but my battle with Kiritsugu that I enjoyed was El Malloy in the mansion. You know, like the first one, the first with the bullet that went through, and he already knew that he was gonna evaluate not to get hit again. He was gonna concentrate his mana into one little area, and then shot that second bullet. Dude,
I had no idea how it worked. That's why it was called the Mage Killer, because like his origin was that what Natasha did to his, I believe it was the powder from his ribcage.
Does she know who he was? Is that why? She knew his origin. That's okay. So just his namesake was what made him powerful? Is that what
she knew about who his dad was?
Okay. So yeah, that again, that origin one was off the chain. But again, back to that battle real quick. I love that orb, that little, the start of that.
Yeah, the Mercury stuff, that was cool.
The start of that episode was pretty crazy. I got to get this out of here.
You don't want to give that fucker Kenneth prop for like everyone's cool in that show.
Yeah. Homie was using that
cool.
Perfect, man. It was using it
that's
to...
what makes it so good is when, like how you
they're masters of their...
It's... You want to root for the good guy, but that bad character is so good at being bad that you can't help but being like, damn, like, okay.
You do.
That's what I say. Don't take them out too early, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see...
16 you're like 14.
The thing was...
Because did you notice that when the second intro started playing, that's when everyone started dying?
Yeah.
He told me that. I watched the first one. I didn't watch the second one. Once I got into season 2, again, guys, if you're just tuning in, I pulled 24 episodes last night. I went in. So I didn't. Once I got to season 2, there was no watching intros. I was using the 18 minutes and maximizing it. Like 24 minutes, I was like, I want to watch these 18 that are crucial and nothing else matters. Like skip intro, next episode. Skip intro, skip outro.
I would start like if I'm rewatching something, I'll skip intros. But like when I first do it, I'm like, no, I'm watching every detail about it if I can.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, you were saying that at the end. Yeah,
Karia is honestly like the one who had the most like tragic story because he jumped into that because his whole thing was he was running away from it at first, but then he found out some little girl's gonna have to take my place. I can't allow that.
Yeah, so and it was somebody who knew too.
It wasn't even his own daughter. Yeah.
No,
it was just a girl he really didn't want to suffer. So.
The family sent her off, right, to split up the power, so that way if one got it,
shitty reason.
Dude, I was like,
he said, I can't give all my parenting to one child. I can't. They're two amazing mages.
Yeah.
They need their own parents. They need their own family to take care of them. Like, screw you. I hope you die. That
was a horrible reason. He's like, I can't. Like, he's like, it's imagine trying to split my power into 2. It's not possible. Like, but I'm gonna have to focus on this child because you have the best shot. And it's just like. They both had the chance. Yeah. And I was like, dude, if you had done it right, you could have raised both these into powerhouse.
So now that makes sense. Like you said, you wanted him to die, right? So that I mean, he stabs his own kids in the back by splitting them up. You know, so to die the way he died. You know what I mean?
I hate in Fate Zero, but it's Togiyomi, it's Archibald El Malloy, Lancer's Master, and it's Zoken Mato. Those are the
Zoken was dirty.
Zoken
came out of nowhere, and then when he comes in, he literally was just like, "Yeah, that's my family. I don't give a shit. Like, you know, I'm gonna do what I need to do."
Like, yeah, the very first episode when he's saying all these terrible things to Karia says, "Surely you don't care about my well-being, do you, Father?" And I went, "What?
You did
saying that shit to you?" Also, dude, when he first sees Sakura for the first time and he's like, his hair's white, he's lost control of half his body, and he says, "I promise I'll get you back to your family," and he like limps away. That part broke me. That part.
Yeah, where was this? The park.
First episode when he basically says he'll agree to go into the worm pit. He's like limping out. He sees Sakura, and he tells her that, "Hey, how you doing?" And she said, "Well, I don't know how I'm doing. I don't even know how my family is. I've been told not to think I even have one anymore." And he says, "I'm going to get you back to your family, and we're going to all play in that park again like we did before." And she says, "You promise?" He goes, "Yeah, I promise." And now that you know Karia, imagine that it's Sakura too. Like, like she's not going back. She's going to go back in that worm pit.
That's freaking wicked, man.
So,
wait, is that a spoiler for the other series?
Let's get the whiteboard, shall we?
All right. Whiteboard.
You made an investment. I'll make sure I do this injustice.
So different colors for different characters.
Here we go.
Okay.
It'll pick you up still.
All right. So we got Fate Zero. We just watched that. That's right here. And it branches off into 3 possible routes. There is Stay Nights that we got up here. UB Dub, as people call it for short. And then you got Heaven's Feel. So the question is, what do you do after you watch Fate Zero? If you can see this well enough,
there you go.
There you go. You choose which one you want to do. I will say Stay Night. It's kind of weak because Ufotable's not the adaptation.
Yeah.
These 2, though, amazing. Heaven's Feel has 3 movies, though, not a series. But the thing that's really interesting about these is, what's so cool about them is, Shiro is the main character of all 3 of these, but he's a different Shiro in all. In Unlimited Blade Works, he is the type of person who will basically do what Kiritsugu wanted him to be. You sacrifice the ones you care most for the greater. That is the core of who he is in Unlimited Blade Works. Stay Night, it's kind of split in half because he loves Saber in that route. and he basically has this dilemma, and he basically ends up saving everyone, and he saves the person he loves. In Heaven's Feel, he abandons the world and says, "I'm going to save the girl I love." And what's really cool about it is it's a different Shiro every time, but at his core, he's really the same.
Yeah. He's Eli said he went with Blade Works, but he didn't finish it though. You really need to go back and finish.
Oh my god, it's so
that
good.
That was actually my first introduction to it, and it was so good. I watched that thing at least twice.
And what's really cool about all of them too is that even in all three of these, the thing that I think is the coolest thing about the Fate series is, and I told David about this, and I told you about the last time I was on here, was if you were to ask, so if these are 3 separate routes, which one's the canon route? It's whichever one you want it to be. That's what the author said. And he has different love interests in all of them. There's Saber in Stay Night, there's Rin in Unlimited Blade Works, and there's Sakura in Heaven's Feel, which is the purple-haired girl. And each one of them has a different premise to their story. Like, Heaven's Feel's the craziest one out of all of them. I will say that.
So that is,
that's Sakura's route.
story.
That's where he loves Sakura. Also, something that's cool about it is, if you ever watched the series and said, man, I really didn't like this character and I hate how much screen time they got, but I really like that character. They got killed off so quickly. There's a route for all of those characters to shine. Like, for example, certain characters get done dirty in Unlimited Blade Work, certain characters get done in Stay Night, but they get redemption in Heaven's Feel. Or someone did really good in Heaven's Feel. They die in the first episode of Unlimited
And
Blade
this is, again, after Phase 0.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
they're all after Phase 0.
So it doesn't matter which of these 3 that you watched, it always came back to this one. These are just 3 separate possibilities. They're 3 separate timelines, essentially. Some people think that, like, Fate is kind of like the Marvel of the anime universe in terms of its timelines. And its powers?
Dude, the powers are really cool.
Like, but powers kind of crazy.
Blade Works, specifically because of the ending, when you find out what you find out about, I think it's
Archer.
I think he's Archer.
Yeah, Archer. Yeah.
And I'm just like, you son of
Yeah.
I was losing my crap.
So he's a different guy in that one?
Because every summon is a different hero.
Because they get a different physical form in the world, right?
Except like, Saber. Saber's like
Saber comes back, and the reason for that is because you know how Saber was still like seeing the light. So something that I didn't say, but there's always a catalyst, and it's a servant for the Grail War to continue.
Multiverse.
Angra Mainyu was being said in the entirety
of
Fate
at the end. Yeah. I was seeing it more at the end.
Was the one who cursed the last Grail. He was the last one in there. And the one who's in there now is Saber. That's why Shiro summons Saber, because Shiro doesn't have a catalyst when he summons her in Unlimited Blade Works, but basically the Grail will eventually choose people who they see fit, and Saber's the last one there, so he gets Saber. So for example, I can tell you this, the only reoccurring character in terms of servants is Saber. All the other 6 servants are completely different in terms of who they are and what their powers are. Like, I can tell you this right now, you know who the Berserker is in Unlimited Blade Works? Hercules.
Yes.
Hercules.
But then I love that aspect too, because then you give him the madness, and it's the same thing that happened with him with Hera.
Yeah, with
and like in the actual Greek mythology, he went mad and killed his wife and kid because the goddess Hera was pissed at him for being born, made him go insane, and he went through a madness rage. Berserker fit that title perfectly, and then when you give him that madness...
Wait, so do we see this Black Knight in armor all the way to the end, or you see Hercules?
No, Hercules is a completely different character design.
Yeah.
Like, okay, to tell you how drastic it is, the rider in the 5th Grail War is Medusa. There's no making the rider look like a Skandar if it's Medusa. Medusa's bad. She's got pink hair, she's got this blindfold on, and she has these chains. She's sick as... Dude, she is so cool.
Yeah. But, okay, with that being said, Gilgamesh's ability reminds me of Archer's ability in Blade Works.
Yep.
Am I wrong in assuming that they're kind of actually the same thing?
No, because what Archer's ability is he can basically copy. That's what he is. Gilgamesh refers to him as a faker in the show because he doesn't have his own true power. Like, at one point, Shiro even calls Gilgamesh out saying, hey, you're a one-trick pony. You're just like me. You're incomplete. And Gilgamesh says, oh, I'm killing you for saying that. He straight up says that. But Archer is a very good counter to Gilgamesh, because that's something that's really interesting, is that some characters are stronger than others, but if you fall into this class, you're a natural counter to some others. Like, for example, Artoria Pendragon was much stronger than Diermood, but Lancer counters Saber. That's why Lancer was getting the edge on her and probably would have beat her, even though he is a weaker hero. He has a class. It's like rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, it's like the Pokemon fight.
It's Pokemon, yeah. It's literally Pokemon. Even a Charizard can die to a Squirtle.
Yeah. Medusa dies super early, apparently.
Oh, yeah. So, to tell you this, yes, and this is very important spoilers because it literally
I thought you watched this a long time ago, Eli.
Oh,
what are you
he remembered quotes from Gilgamesh.
I remember Blade Works only because of how like freaking amazing it was, and I was so caught up by the end of it. I was like, so now I need to rewatch this to see like little intricacies.
The plot twist in Little Lasers, we cannot tell this guy for the life of us.
No.
So there is a plot twist?
Oh,
God.
thank God.
I thought y'all were able to like say everything without it going, you know.
I will say this with
can't.
utmost certainty, and I think Emmanuel can agree with me on this, is that in terms of the dilemma a main character faces that is an obstacle, Unlimited Blade Works has the best one I've ever seen in an anime.
Dude, Blade Works is somewhat similar to Attack on Titan.
25 episodes, right?
Yep. 25 episodes, 3
3
movies.
And then
watch this if you want to.
I'm gonna watch that one to lower my standards and then go back to the betters.
But if you respect the Fate series enough, then you have to watch it to know what I mean.
Gotcha. Just to fill out the story, like
they did with
you can't just leave a halfway done page color book. You gotta finish. You know,
what sucks even more is like Saber gets screwed in Fate Zero. Saber gets screwed in Unlimited Blade Works. Saber gets very screwed in Heaven's Feel. Yeah. Saber gets time to shine and stay nice. It's not good, though. Okay. Word. But yeah, Gilgamesh was out of this world. Like
dude,
it was
awesome.
just fucking
aura.
Exactly. I love the fact that they kept that's the new word aura farming. Aura farming.
He was.
But let me see. Let me turn your mic back on. I turned it off so that way it wouldn't pick up.
Okay. So for that in my mind, does Gilgamesh make a return in any of the other ones?
Yes, he is in all 3 of those.
Okay. But I know for a fact in Blade Works he is not Archer.
Correct.
So you could get summoned as a different
class
entirely, and then that changes your stats all the way.
Yeah, another interesting thing is that in a lot of the spin-offs, a lot of the servants do come back and they're summoned as different ones. Like, for example, there's one where the Lancer in the 5th Grail War, his name is Ku Cullen, which, by the way, his lore is insane. Like, the way he died was, like, he got poisoned. He has these 2 rules. He can never deny hospitality, but he can never eat dog either. And there was a woman who came up to him who was trying to basically, like, sabotage him and said, "Hey, won't you come into my house, brave soldier? I'm offering you a meal." And he says, "Well, of course, I can't deny this. The meal is dog." And he goes,
and now
he cannot deny hospitality, but he can't eat dog. So he has to deny one of them. He decides, "I will eat the dog." The dog is basically, like, poison and cursed. It kills him. And he spends the last day that he has fighting off this army, and he spills his own intestines, and he wraps himself around a tree, holds his lance up to an army of hundreds of men, and says, "I will not die on all fours like a dog." And for 3 days, no one came up to him because they were so scared until a crow came by and started pecking at his corpse. Yeah. He was dead for 3 days. No one came up to him because they were that scared.
That's sick. That is
Jesus
awesome.
Christ.
That gives me...
That is lore.
That is lore. That is aura.
But I'll say the Masters and the OG were on a different level. Like, 2 of the Masters from that season. Oh, okay. Yeah. The Masters, again, were playing ultimate chess. They weren't playing like regular Joe Schmo chess on like your computer. Oh, yeah. Like they were playing
4D chess over there.
The Fate Zero Masters were on a whole nother level.
Like they were playing
they
played Sheldon Cooper's 8-dimensional chess. Like, you know what I mean? Like his 8-dimensional chess. I was just like, yo, they were like so
really interesting to think about though, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to make sure I answer your question. So Gilgamesh never died. So he's just alive throughout the rest of this, and he's just doing whatever the hell he wants on Earth. Can you imagine? Like, you're just trying to go
relinquished of your servitude, but
like, imagine you're at work someday and like Gilgamesh just walking by on his golden plate, and you're like, "What was that?" And you just like turn around, he's not there. He's like,
"Yo, okay. What?"
He had to entertain himself somehow.
Yeah,
I'm curious how.
I like that too. The transformation from like regular clothing to like their battle armor. You know what I mean? Like they're all.
The suit went hard.
Yeah.
Saber did go nice. Again, where was one? I think it was when Berserker attacked, right? No, it was someone else that attacked, and when she came out of the smoke, she was in her outfit.
Oh yeah,
like in her armor. It was the caster, yeah. She was literally in her outfit, like her butler suit, outfit, and then just like hops out of the cloud, and then like came in her, in her armor. I was like, yo, dope. And then the first reveal of the sword was dope too. Like when you finally see Excalibur, even like they're all like, oh shit, it's real. Like, you know what I mean?
And then it goes into like such cool detail about how, like, why she hit it, because if you know her sword, you know who she is as well. And Diermud, when he was fighting her, he said, hey, are you using the air to mask your sword for me because it gives away your identity? And she goes, what? And he goes, actually, don't answer that. I'm going to find it out myself. Yeah. And he just creates this explosion. He sees the length of her blade. He sees what it looks like. He says, all right, I know the length of your blade. I'm not going to play defensive anymore. Then he starts just like going at her.
Going crazy.
Like, losing.
Yeah. The episode 5, is that what you're talking? Yeah.
Lancer was so cool.
It was,
Lancer was my favorite, dude.
Lancer was my favorite in Unlimited Blade Works, too. The Lancers are the coolest.
Lancers are so good. I think the caster in Unlimited Blade Works was pretty interesting to me a little bit. If I remember correctly, I was like, the caster in there, I was like, damn, that's a cool.
Oh yeah, the casters are always unhinged as hell out, but they don't even have the fucking berserkers heads. They're just unhinged.
Dude, the berserker, yeah.
Dude, again, homie just came in and killed a kid, bro. Like, no remorse. Just got, summoned. Next thing you know, he's like, dead. You know what I mean? Like, you the same as me. Let me show you what I can do.
The
you know,
is even stronger in Unlimited Blade Works as well. Like,
they're
held back a bit by a certain something, but like,
they still go
Saber on edge. Like, man, to think that one of the assassins can go toe to toe with Saber and like almost beat her is crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm ready. I was like, y'all getting me hyped. I'll watch it in one day again as well. The day before the show.
We gotta give Nathan like a 6-month break, and then we could bring him back.
But we all gotta admit that by far the one who stole the show in the was the Archer. The Archer was damn amazing.
In Unlimited Blade Works.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't know, but you're gonna see like the peak of characters. Like, it gives a Sandar run for his money in terms of his writing.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, when you see Archer in that, and then you realize, like, at the end when it goes on,
the beam of light, just, beam of light, done, gone.
He's like, my kid, you're right. It's so helpful. No, Archer in Blade Works though is like, I like you said, Lancers and all of them I think are pretty damn cool. Mm-hmm. But Archer in Blade Works was like freaking something else for me.
Because it's another one of those things where, like, after you watch it the second time and you see how he acts with Shiro, and, like, just, like, these, like, things that happen around them, you're like, oh, my God. This was, like, it was revealed to us from the beginning. Yes. Like, we never knew about it, and... Oh, I can't wait for David to find it out.
Yeah, that's freaking dope.
Find it out until it happens. Or you think you'll find it out?
As long as we don't like ruin anything, he might find out like when it pops up.
Yeah, y'all haven't given away nothing really. No, I mean, y'all really just described characters and their powers. Nothing,
because like we could say
instantly.
But it's just like we can't. It's just
it was that good of a plot twist.
Oh, dude, it was so good. Like I said, for me personally, it has that Attack on Titan feel.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, is it that like whole what? He killed his mom.
Like that pivot was so hard. You're like, wait.
Like, it's only one of them, but oh my God, it takes like all the qualities from an Attack on Titan plot twist and puts them in like
the biggest one.
Yes, it was so cool. Though.
So for it being, so it's not that old, right? Unlimited Blade Works, you fit 15. I was gonna say 15.
So 10 years, 10 years old now.
It has still one of the. Is it, in your opinion, one of the bigger plot twists? Y'all's opinion?
Oh my God, yeah.
Dude, it was so.
Well, to be compared to Attack on Titan, I mean that's a 10-year or 8-year gap, 7 years.
That what made it such a plot twist was because of how interesting it was.
Aaron killed his mom. What?
Yeah.
Technically, he didn't. He had somebody else do it for him. So is that technically him killing her?
But he was the orchestrator. That's like saying, no, I didn't do it. The puppet did. I have to swing.
The puppet did.
No blood on my hands.
The puppet had a knife. But I think that with this plot twist, though, the thing that made it so insane was you're watching the entirety of Unlimited Blade Works, and you're just wondering about this one certain nagging question you're having, because I can't say it, but you'll have this question that you're asking, and it's this character who's also asking, and then you find the answer to it, and it all makes so much sense.
Yes.
Like, it was being given away to you from the start, but because of everything that happens in the show, because that's something else that Attack on Titan did really well, is that the thing is with plot twists is they're hard to do well without, one, making them too obvious, or two, giving hints and not making it blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
The thing that I think Attack on Titan did well in that aspect was there was so much going on that you didn't even have time to think about it. Until they happened right in your face.
Definitely.
Like, oh my god, that's right. Because season 2 of Attack on Titan was literally plot twist after plot twist. Because there was Titans in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
There's no wall. Connie's village got turned into Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in Connie's village is gone. What's going on? Reiner Barrel. I'm the Armored Titan. He's the Colossal Titan. Spoilers, by the way.
Right, I got it right here. Spoilers.
But every episode of season... I still think season 2 is my favorite.
Season 2 was very good.
And dude, I watched... Because it was only 12 episodes, but I watched the entirety of season 2 on a school night. I was screaming in my room at 3 a.m. I know my mom hated me. You remember the last episode of season 2 when Eren can control the Titans?
Oh, yeah.
That shit had me screaming.
Yes.
In the field, right?
Yeah. Like right when he touches her hand.
Mikasa, I'll wrap that scarf around you anytime you want. And he just punches, and then that Titan just punches the other Titan. And you're like, huh? And then Eren starts screaming, and he starts controlling all the Titans. I'm like, this is what they meant by the coordinate. Oh my god.
Dude, that was really good the way they had that done. Oh man.
And so insane. Unlimited Blade Works is on a level of that, like,
it's like on a level of that. Yeah, like that hard. Just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait.
It's definitely worthy of getting up out of your seat and just running around your house going,
yes. And then you go back and rewatch it because now you know what's going on. And you're just like, well,
how dumb was I to not see
every time you're like seeing it, you're like, this.
That's freaking wild.
Dude, Blade Works again was my introduction to it, but it's still one of my favorites.
In full, none of them connect. All three alternate timelines. You don't have to watch them in any order, right?
No.
Yeah, the only thing they connect to is from Fate Zero. They do not hold any something I will say is interesting is that Unlimited Blade Works actually has an opening scene, which I told you guys about, where Gilgamesh is talking to Sakura, and you don't know what they're talking about the entire time. Unlimited Blade Works does not cover what they were talking about. Heaven's Feel, though, picks up from that conversation. It's Gilgamesh saying, hey, if you enter the Grill War, I'm going to kill you. And he just walks away. But you don't know that until you watch Heaven's Feel. So that's something that I thought was really cool.
I think you said that. They show like a conversation out the but you don't know what they say.
By the way, the thing with Heaven's Feel, that made it so different was, I told you about that Grail Mud? So basically that alters servants, and it basically fuels them with unlimited mana. And so you know how the Noble Phantasm is like a very scarce product in Fate Zero, how like it can only be used once, and like you can't do it again because it's so strong. Unlimited Blade Works, it is spammed.
Oh yeah, they get rid of that.
Sorry, it's spammed in Heaven's Feel.
You said unlimited budget or what?
In Heaven's Feel, it's spammed because half the servants get corrupted by the Grail, and basically the series becomes, we have to stop the other servants from destroying everything at this point. It takes such a drastic turn, and funnily enough, Heaven's Feel has one of the most darkest tones of the series, but it has one of the happiest endings also.
So the entirety of the series is dark, but the ending is what?
Nothing gets darker than Fate Zero. You got to pass it on. Because Unlimited Blade has a great ending.
Oh yeah,
it has such a great ending.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was hard to get there.
That was Ren's.
Yes, that's Ren's.
Yeah. That's Ren. Okay.
Yeah. Green.
Dude, I can't. I'm telling you, like the whole time, bro.
Was it Omniplex?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they have for me, every time I watch an Omniplex thing, it's always something messed up.
AI caption, capture.
Captions.
Dude, you're right. There was moments that I would be in it, and it's like we saw a kitty to go, and it was like, damn it, shit, like don't break. This is a serious moment right here. Like, again, they said Maya, they said Mayo, they said dude, they had all kinds of renditions for again. Dear Mutt, Dear Moo, like Dear Moo, like they just butchered and it was never consistent.
Yeah.
On the episode, and it was the episode of Shirley and Kiritugu's past. his background. That one was Carrie, Carrie.
Was there ever a funny one with the Noble Phantasms, like what they called them?
Which ones? Wait.
Like if anyone said Excalibur, was that pronounced correctly? Was Ione Hetero pronounced correctly?
No. Even like when they're phantasms. Yeah. No. It was butchered every time. Like
that reminds. Have you guys seen that video of that guy who's like sitting in the movie of Oppenheimer and like it's counting down the time and then it's just like 3, 2, 1. Then he just like on a speaker plays this fart sound and then if this one guy in the theater goes. That's what they felt like watching that episode of Fate.
Like Kitty to go, like oh my god, like dude, it was upsetting. It did definitely ruin it, but I needed it. I was watching it again. I didn't even finish that story. I was watching it at 3, 4 in the morning. My son's room's like catty corner, so I had it at like 10. You know, while I have it on subtitles, so that, then I'm chewing chips and so I was just like, subtitles is needed right now, So, but yeah, dude, this overall like concept of the story, I think you said it's not anime or it's not shonen.
Yeah.
It is seinen. There you go. So, again, guys. These guys are, molding me to the anime, realm and categories, and so I didn't know there was a difference. It wasn't until again he brought it up, and then it showed it with, oh my gosh, the Notebook, Death Note. I was like, so yeah. I was saying the Death Note, so they were like letting me know that was different and stuff. So again, I'm the rookie to still a baby, definitely. I was like a rookie to what he was.
He's a toddler by now.
I was about to say we were thinking of making like a chart showing like amateur, mediocre, knowledge, etc. So something like that. But
he's at that stage where he's like learning to walk. He's still stumbling.
I got the assisted walker, you know what I mean? So but I'm getting there. My catalog is pretty good.
40 years of experience at the age of
dude, I mean together we probably watched and read so much.
Murder me. Like again, dude, the way the way we introduced to both of them, it's brave on my part. I don't know if y'all want to call it brave, but I approached them both and I was like, hey, you watch anime? They're like, bet. And then they just go off and it was just like, nope. Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, they're like, you don't even know what you're into right now.
Huh? Do you have a wife?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's probably why I have a lot on my plate. I don't have either of those.
But again, he was able to read all of Kaiju number 8 within just murder.
I killed.
I'll do it.
Yeah. With Fate, I was watching it during some breaks. I was watching. Dude, at the time, I was working as cleanup in the kitchen area. Mm-hmm. I put my phone on the little thing we had in the back, and I was right there doing the.
Doing the motion.
Somebody was like, "Are you watching something?" I was like, "Yes."
So
at one point, I almost knocked over something. I was like,
"I'm so."
Dude, I was like, "Hold up!" I was like, "Gilgamesh is on. You need to wait.
Hold on, Gilgamesh is not getting bridge to speed.
No, for real. You might.
Who do you think you are interrupting his moment? Dude, it was. I'm glad I got to watch it in an entirety of its night. To see it just unfold, and I was just like. I gotta keep going again.
What? Very hard to watch in increments, 2 months break. You can't do it,
because you'll forget. There was just so much. There was Kitty to go. I lost track of Tosaka, and then when Kari, comes back and was going after Tosaka on the roof. All that stuff, I was just if you would have spread that out, I would have lost it. I would have been like, okay, I'm gonna have to go back a couple of episodes and then
I did all that in a week or two, and I texted you and you told him because I was like, I'm about to finish it and then get on the whole because I found a YouTube video of it and I was.
Dude, if you look at
because he had a timeline problem. I was like,
in all honesty, I'm not gonna lie, I finished it. Y'all took so long, I went and watched that YouTube video and forgot half of it. Because that thing was I think it was an hour-long YouTube video.
Going to Fate lore.
And I was just like, nope, I need to know. And I went into all of it, but I when you were talking about like certain things with the Grail and corrupting people and everything, I was like, I know that triggered my memory. But like for me, it just like I need to know. Like the anime was so good, I was like, now I need to know.
And then that's what I was telling myself last night. I was notes, guys. I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5.5, and then I had some on my phone, right?
Nice handwriting. I saw it.
So
compared to my chicken scratch 1 pager.
So in the midst of all those notes, in the midst of all those notes, I was like, felt like, I just tossed it up. I was just like, no, you know what's gonna happen? Nathan's gonna say something. I'm gonna remember it. That's what I'm gonna base my knowledge off of what he knows, and I'm gonna remember those scenes. And that's what we've been doing today. Like we've been just bouncing off around every little scene, but nonetheless, like diving deep into it. You know what I mean? Like that. I was banking on your knowledge. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna write anymore. If we do go in touch, I was like, I do have Big Ball of Mercury. I have Tosaka Manor, Fuyuki Chapel, and the new residence as the 3 spots of the key lines. I was like, I wrote in-depth notes. I was like, yo, we gonna go hard on this. Like, so I was so in-depth last night. And then, like I said, in the middle of it, it got so intense. I was just like, I have faith in Nate. I was like, he's gonna know. We're gonna bring up every little moment, and I know it. I was like, so I don't need no more notes. I was like, I need to focus, and I just zoned in, and it was game over. 6:22 came around, and I did not want to turn it off, so I took it upon myself to take the hour nap. Like I was like, no.
Myself as service.
Yes, exactly, dude. I was like, all nighter. I did it. I think I'm just gonna. I deserve this 2-hour nap. So let me, lay my head down. Woke up.
Would have said it. I need it.
Go back to work. Tuesday.
So I literally hopped back up at 8:45 and started rewatching it. See.
That's a great question. You see that?
So if y'all were a master, what hero would you pick that hasn't been picked, and what class?
So let me tell you something real interesting that my friend, who I also got into the Fate lore pretty recently. There is a new Fate series coming out. This one's called Fate Strange Fake. I don't know if it's out yet. I've seen the trailer, which, by the way, you guys should definitely watch it. The trailer is absolutely insane. It's one that's set in America.
Is it real? Okay. I was like, we're dealing with a lot of AI, nowadays, so.
Real. But they recently introduced one where the Berserker is Jack the Ripper.
Nice.
Which I thought was insanely cool. And
that was awesome.
Power is... Because the way he's introduced as a character is, you see his master, and he's talking to someone who's like a friend, and then he turns around and he talks to someone else who is his other friend, and then you find out it was his servant this whole time that he's talking to. And that's what Jack the Ripper's, like, one of his powers is that he can just mask himself into whoever he wants, because a lot of his, like, lore in Jack the Ripper was that you don't know who he was.
Yeah, you don't...
He was a serial killer that no one ever found out about, but, like, people believe that he had, like, contracts with devils or something, because, like, how does he get away?
Yeah.
And, like, that was how. But really the interesting story about Jack the Ripper in this Fate Strange Fake is that, like, he doesn't have a set look because he said that I exist through people's memories. I do not even know who I was anymore. I don't know what I look like. Perhaps this is why I've been summoned, to find out who I really was, not what people said I was. And I thought that was such an interesting concept of a servant.
Yeah.
Especially someone who was likely as sadistic as Jack the Ripper, but I thought that was really cool. But I think that another great addition would be something like, dude, you know who'd be a wild grab? Genghis Khan.
I was thinking the same one. Yes. Damn it, you took it away from me. I was ready to like blow y'all.
I think, dude, Vlad the Impaler would probably be mine.
Yeah, that would be good.
Genghis Berserker, right?
I was going for a Skandor, type, rider. I think I was
no. It's unfortunate that a lot of historical characters would fit the Berserker category.
Unfortunately,
because a lot of them are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I was thinking that exact one, Genghis Khan. Like, oh, that would be a good one.
Vlad the Impaler would probably be an awesome one.
What about
He'd probably be a Lancer, wouldn't he?
Vlad, yeah.
Because he impales people.
Yeah.
Wonder what else? Who else?
Or
in history.
Well, it's
interesting
because in history
for Archer.
Roman now would be caught up in this. He wanted to steal from the rich, get to the poor. He doesn't want to be in this shit.
Achilles
is in there. Achilles is in the
Shut up, really?
Which one?
He's in Apocrypha. Achilles is the archer in Apocrypha.
And that's the third movie?
That's a spin-off one. That was a spin-off one. That one you don't need to watch unless you really want to.
Okay.
But I do think he was pretty. Oh my god, how did I forget about this? Leonidas is also one of the spin-offs. He's in the demonic font Babylonia one where he is the Lancer. He's a Spartan.
There's that many.
Dude.
Fate went hard then, so it wasn't
There's
just a blink. It wasn't just a blink and go through like.
If you name a character in history, there's probably a servant for them. Like if you actually look up a popular historical character, then look up Fate. They're probably in a series that I don't even know about.
Well, what I find interesting too is technically you could use mythology to your advantage too.
Yeah.
And I personally like mythology, so I could use a bunch of different ones for any of these classes.
Yeah, like God you can think of too. They're probably in there.
Yeah.
Medusa,
Hercules, like that. But dude, imagine Ares coming in.
That'd be unfair.
But like that's why you can't technically use like a whole god. No, he qualifies for everything. I think he wouldn't qualify for a caster.
Yeah, maybe caster.
He'll probably be the weakest caster you could have.
Freaking Zeus.
Zeus would be a caster.
Yes, he would.
You're not the Disney Zeus, the father figure,
shut up.
The father figure that loved his son.
Was all about Greek mythology, and like all the servants are like Greek gods, except Leonidas. He was like the one that stood against the gods.
Okay.
I remember like exactly like he was facing this thing called a Gorgon, which basically has like the Medusa effect.
Yeah, so the Medusa. Yeah.
He threw this spear. He said, "I will get you guys out of this, but you're going to be on your own afterwards." And then he turned and looked, and he made eye contact with the Gorgon, and he threw the spear, and he turned to stone right as he threw it, but he nailed it and killed it. And as his body was turned to stone, he says, "I leave the rest to you," and his shield fell.
Dude,
like they find a way to make lasting impacts. With
Just
like, the final words of like servants are always some of their best.
I agree with that because again, it was his final cry with what was it? Iskandar again. I referenced Iskandar, and he's like, "I now understand when you said your heart danced." You know what I mean? Like, because that's what he felt at that moment. You know.
Yeah.
And the beating of my heart was the waves of Okeanos.
If I have to choose somebody, I've always liked Japanese like mythology and history.
Oh.
But I'm not gonna go with the mythology route because you could do a lot with their mythology. But one of the first people to really unite Japan and everything was Obunaga.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to have him as like Saber.
Yeah.
That would be a hard one for me.
That would be a hard one for you?
Poseidon Lancer.
Poseidon Lancer would be amazing.
Poseidon Lancer, Eli's idea.
Nice.
Oh, you're good. Zoning out of this conversation. I'm trying to see if we got any shares. Okay. That's the farthest thing. If we don't end up doing a giveaway, it's unfortunate.
Just be like anybody that's on. So I see one
on
like
YouTube, 2, 3. Eli, if you're gonna be on here, June. So all of y'all.
Everyone that you saw from the stream today.
Yeah, Zaku. Yeah, I think we might do that because it was very.
We can find the marble thing in the meantime. You drop down and like go down.
Oh yeah. The menu.
You gotta get a marble one, like one of those. Those are the hype ones.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see the Minecraft one though. That looked funny.
So again, guys, for today's episode, where's the hat?
It fell somewhere. You had it.
Oh, it's already sure.
How dare you?
All right, guys. Again, to those who are all tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. What we're doing today, we're doing a special giveaway. If we get to it, I mean, we haven't had very much activity besides on our comments. Eli, like, share, and you already subscribed and, etc. So just like and share the page. It'll help us out for, maybe getting some more people on here. But we're giving away, there we go, a Captain America Brave New World popcorn bucket with wings that, expand out, which is a pretty cool popcorn bucket. Again, in hopes to get everyone inspired to, start collecting popcorn tins like I do. And if you don't, no worries. But the real one is, again, I'm super stoked. We finally made a logo. We got a hat made by Branded Texas Traditions. They'll be the ones supplying the hat. And if you do, again, like, share, and follow, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you do subscribe to the YouTube channel, take a screenshot showing you're subscribed, and you'll enter the giveaway. But the cool thing about this is going to be fully customizable. So you'll not fully, I should say. The patch will stay, or the logo will stay the same. As far as the patch itself, you'll get the chance. So you'll change the color of the patch. You can do white and black, black and gray, pink. I think I saw on there. He had some camo hats. He had fitted hats. So you get to customize it to your personality, to your personal liking. Again, that is going to be the cool thing. This is my personal one. So it was a pretty neat one. So again, guys, like, follow, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Cool. Thank you, Veronica. Awesome. I'll put you in. Let me see. Start writing names down over here.
Trying to see my.
That's why I'm trying to see who shared. I can't see who shared it for some reason.
No.
So let's see. Veronica.
Will it tell us?
It should.
Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone real quick too. It says 4 shares.
Yeah.
I don't have control over this part.
No control. You're just here to look.
I'm
look
here
good.
to engage.
Now I can't even get to the live, but it is what it is.
Who else? Zaku, so that's Mike. Your buddy John, is he still in? You should see.
He hasn't messaged me. He definitely did pop by though. I'll ask him once I get back home if he did it.
If he's subscribed, you can text him right now. Let him know. Be like, hey, if he subscribes to the channel, screenshots it, he enters to win a hat. So John. Who else? I don't know who the messenger of Halal was, unfortunately. He in and out. Cool. Thank you so much, Veronica. Thank you for tuning in again. I do appreciate that. So again, guys, like, follow, and share this podcast, screen or live podcast, to enter to win this. Again, we're just going off on Fate Zero today. Literally all kinds of confirmation or conversations, and of all the scenes that we went through. So again, this will be at the end of the page of the show. We'll be raffling it away, and then due to not very many people in here, you have a good chance of winning. So yeah. Alrighty, guys, let's continue. So a lot of characters can be different things in history. So in an essence, this can continue if they wanted to for infinite.
It's just a matter of, can they make an engaging story to go with it? You have the characters,
and they can cross whoever. They can cross whoever. It doesn't matter. Like
something that Luna Bladers goes into detail about is that the servants that are summoned aren't always from the past. They can be from the current or from even the future.
From the future too.
What? Yeah. So they could just be in life and then just end up being poofed to this war.
Yeah.
Shut up. So my question is on the what is that? Raps MD? Anybody?
My boy.
That's what I was saying. I was like, is that your boy or no?
Boy. What's up, bro?
You right. What is it for the old school? What's
old school scream?
Oh, you should get a mask.
I was getting the mask with the tongue. Like, I remember that was so popular, dude. Like it was the scream mask for so long. And then when the funny movie, the scary movie came out, everybody started getting the other ones. Yeah. The one that I wanted was the blood one. The one that the blood came down, so it was in a little pump. Mendez, what's good? Yo, if you're tuning in, I don't know if you're subscribed to the channel, my friend, but definitely if you're subscribed, I'm going to put you into the drawing. We just went over it. We're gonna give a hat and a popcorn bucket. If you end up winning the raffle, it's a giveaway. So show me you're subscribed, or let me know you're subscribed, and we'll go for it. But
are we doing both as one prize or like separate?
No, separate. So two different. And then I don't know. Should I remove the winner of the hat or the opportunity?
I don't think so.
The opportunity to win both, right?
So they're both cool. They're both cool. I wouldn't want to win one or the other.
Definitely. I got your name on here, so I know you're subscribed and stuff. You're here for today, so you can be probably walking away with a popcorn hat.
Shoot, I might win the hat.
I might win one. My wife might win it.
Different colors.
Yes, definitely, Mendez. You can customize it to your liking. So, guys. So again, Bro, thank you for introducing the anime. First of all, you know, so I was huh?
I said to you.
Yeah, yes. to me. So again, it was fun to run through it. Again, I put myself in that position, but in the end, it brought back that memory. Like it was just like putting in work, you know, going to work or going to school tired, you know, because you got hooked. And then that's how I got back into it. I was in San Antonio. I was watching Naruto. And again, the last thing I remember of Naruto when I was younger was Jiraiya teaching him how to do the Rasengan, showing him that the swirl of your hair at the cat, is what your rotation is, and so that was all I remember. So that I remember I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go into this and I'm gonna watch every single thing. And so I just started watching it. I remember Bree was like, I would have work at 8 a.m. She would wake up at like 4, and she's like, what are you doing awake? Yep. I was like, I can't stop, but I can't put this down. I can't, So literally how I felt. Like at 6:22, I was like, I don't want to stop right here, but I got to get some type of sleep. So I took me a little nap. So appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. It's a work in progress. It's gonna change again next season.
Ever evolving.
Yeah, it's gonna be ever evolving.
It looked great since I last been here, and I already liked how it looked before. But like,
appreciate it.
We always have more stuff to do.
It's a vibe, you know what I mean. You got to build the what is it I always say, the feng shui.
You guys can't even see the entirety. I'm looking at the rest of the room too. It's still cool.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, thanks, bro. I'm glad. Thank you for this. Subscribe. Again, we were talking Fate Zero, so I don't know if you've watched it. If you haven't, spoilers already been passed. And so, yeah, it was so good to be introduced to this thought concept again, because again, I was only used to the power of will. Like we made so much fun of it that last episode. It was just like, oh, because you're my friend, we're gonna survive. Like the power of friendship is always the strongest.
But it's such a different concept in general. Like some people like to say that the Fate series is like, oh, this is the OG Battle Royale. And I was like, don't put it in. I'm like, oh, okay, I see it though.
Yeah.
It really is its own super unique concept that opens up a vast majority of like, you can do so much with this. The hard part is, I think, is to make that compelling story, but they did it.
And in just a question in general, like, because it just popped in my head. Mm-hmm. Did you prefer the individual battles that, were created there at the end, like, each one? Or would you have liked that conceptual battle of everyone going at it at one time?
Oh, no. Because a lot of what made the Fate series great was, like, introducing these characters. And because, like I said, with Fate Zero, you're constantly rooting for one person. Like Kiritsugi, you're rooting for him. He's the main character. You see him with this loving family that if he's not successful,
he wins, he loses that family.
You see Kirei, well, you might not be fascinated by Kirei. I was, because I thought it was interesting how amidst everyone, he was someone with nothing. And I was just, as I was watching, I was like, this guy's going to have some development. There's something within him that I want to see, but I can't see that if he dies. There was Waver. Waver was a likable nerd who, like, he was puny, he was scrawny, but seeing him in his development, like, you can't see more of his development if he's dead. Then there was Karia. Karia, I felt the most bad for the entire time because his suffering was the most apparent from the get-go. And it never let up. It just got worse. Then there was Ryunosuke and the caster. I was like, these guys are fucked up. But they're pretty entertaining. I don't want to see them die. They're entertaining. Then there was my boy, Lancer. And while I hated his master, I wanted nothing but good for the Lancer because he was so heroic. And he had so much respect that I feel like that, and I had a feeling respect wasn't going to be given to him equally, but I wanted to see him and
he was under the wrong master at that time.
He got the worst possible master.
Yeah. The heartbreaking part was, again, was it planned? Not heartbreaking part. So was it planned for him to give his command seal to Solua? Solua? Solao. That's exactly. Solo out. There was all these different, freaking interpretations. But, and then, was that his initial plan? Because he was wanting to go get another seal, or
that wasn't planned. So if you remember, he's Diarmuid of the love spot. He has a curse. It's that beauty mark where he enchants any woman he sees. El Malloy, Archibald's wife, got enchanted by him and basically wanted to make Lancer like hers, and she was willing to go against her own husband for that. That's basically all that there was to it.
Really,
but
it was
the thing that was interesting about Diarmuid's story was that he was a guy who served under a king. and he found out that the king was abusing his
next
wife.
fiance. Yeah,
Yes.
his fiance.
And he fell in love with this woman, and she said, "Please take me away from him. I want to be with you." And so he fled that kingdom and left with the king's wife. The king hunted them down, and he said, "Dear,
You can have her. Yeah.
I'm not mad. You know what, dude? Come back. Like, I'll be different. You can have her. Come back. You're a knight, and like, I know you still respect me." He's like, "You know what? I will." And then he fed him to boars.
Bro, when I saw that episode start of that, I was like, hold up, what? Hold on. And well, except from the dream, and then like I was just like, yo, hold on. So he had a past that he had a love, and then that's when you find out that they can like feel their servants' dreams or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
was so disgusted by the fact that he went against his king in the first place that he couldn't do it to El Malloy, even though El Malloy was such a piece of shit to him.
Because at that point he established his right as a knight, like his knighthood, his honor.
Again.
Yeah, okay. So that's when he developed that honor of like, to the end kind of thing. But yeah, dude, his story was, heartbreaking as well. I was just like,
and if it was an all-out clash from the beginning, we wouldn't have time to see development. Like,
some
of the development from characters is through the death of others in that show. It's not necessarily exploited that much in Fate Zero, but it does end up happening a lot in Unlimited Blade Works and Heaven's Feel, because a lot of what happens in Unlimited Blade Works is like, as people are dying, you're getting closer and closer, and you realize you're the stronger, and you're stronger and stronger each time you're the last one standing.
And Gilgamesh, Iskandar says that he's like, we made it to this round. He's like, and it only gets tougher from here or something like that. Like,
technically, I'd say that. Well, we can actually rank them now in terms of like where they actually place. So, Assassin was last, then came, I believe, Lancer.
In terms of strength?
No, in terms of like their placements.
Okay.
There was Assassin, there was Caster, then there was Lancer, then it was Rider, then it was Lancelot, then it was Saber, then it was Gilgamesh. It's crazy to think that starting that show, you had no idea how it was going to end, but now you know how one fell and the rest just kind of fell with them.
Yeah.
Dude, it was fun, man. It was a fun like anime overall. Just again, the small break, they were enemies, but they sat and broke bread. You know what I mean? Like, during that, hiatus where they were all going against Caster, it was just like, yo, I respect you. I was I respect you. No, I respect you. You know what I mean? I see what you're saying. And then they bomb on Saber. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I respect you. I respect you. You not so much. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they said, you're a little girl who's wearing a crown and you shouldn't have that.
Oh my God. And she was losing it, bro. Like, she just didn't know how to like think. She was like, it was all starting to play back. Like, is this what I did to my people? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so again, this show wasn't for the weak-willed 100%, but it's for those ones that like that next level thought. Again, it was, I see now what Nathan would always tell me is just like, it wasn't just your on par, this is what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. Like, this is, in-depth stories that, give you, how do I say, like, really.
If you think about it too, like, when you watch a normal anime, if you saw that first episode, you'd think Kiritsuga's going to win, Saber's going to win every battle, and he's going to go back and live with his family happily ever after. None of that happened. None of that happened. It's like, that's what happens in anime, bro.
They're like, here's the good guy, and they're going to
win. And he's going to be the winner in the end. Like,
every anime, she's the strongest main character. No. Saber gets her ass handed to her throughout the entire series, man.
That was great. I didn't even think of it like that. Like, yeah, he's gonna go back to that castle, gonna sit in the snow with his daughter. Go pick cherry blossoms together. Like, I was like, zero of that happened at all. Like, it was so wicked. But again, I truly enjoyed it. And so to answer, I think you already know, mine was definitely Iskandar. I truly enjoyed that development the entire time. Again, just following his story, like, was going, head on, no fear. Like, this is my mission. I am gonna go to the ends of the world to see the sea. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and that was, and then again, the love for it. He was just like embracing the new world. Like, he came and he talks about it, I think, right, where he said, I came back and I was immediately stunned to know that the world was round. He's like, it was just like, but I knew that, that is my job, is to conquer, you know, and I had to accept it.
To like his old world too. He said, if there's a major city, maybe like Persepolis, that we could plunder, and Ray was like, what are you talking about, dude? 'Cause it's also easy for your favorite character to be the funny one. Like, for example, let's take Demon Slayer. A lot of people love Inosuke. He's the funny guy. Is his writing the best? No, but he does what he's there for. But then there's Ryder, who is the funniest, and like he has writing. Like he's not there to see comedic relief. Like that dude's on business too, and that's something else that there's like people say like Fate Zero is goated because of Iskandar. Like they say that like he was the heart of that show. And,
again, his when he did his Noble Phantasm, you know, when he did that, and it showed that whole new world again, you know, like a whole dimension, you know, based on his armies that he's conquered, the souls of the, you know, people that he's conquered. I was just like, and they followed him loyally, you know what I mean? Like that was his thing. That was so dope.
His
and
power literally was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Anime trope of there.
Yeah, and so then, you know, exactly. So then, you know, they're measuring that at that point when he shows it, and that, you know, it was for Tosaka and Kire, right? That were like kind of trying to find out how strong his, you know, thing. And they were like, "Oh, it's on par with his Golden Gate." Is that what it?
His Golden Chariot.
Golden?
You're talking about
Gilgamesh.
It was Gate of Babylon.
Yeah, Gate of Babylon. There we go.
That's
and so
a cool name for
it's such a freaking powerful aura. So and like when you get that, and then again, just the sheer, you know, strength comparison when, again, he destroyed his realm. You know, Gilgamesh with ease just pulls out this little, cyber key, that's
the strongest thing, by the way. That was called Aya. That was apparently, like, the very first ever sword to be wielded by a hero. It's the sword of antimatter. It's the sword of, like, just, like, if you wield that and you will something to be destroyed, it just does, even the world. And an interesting fact is, that is by far the strongest weapon, the strongest anything in the Fate series. Gilgamesh only uses it once, and it is on Iskandar because he was the only one who was ever worthy of it.
See, that's just dope.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like, and to see where. But again, it goes back to then a Ufotable, guys, done by Ufotable. It was insane to see the world dissipate. Like it was just starting to just deteriorate. The sky was turning black. Then you see the massive crack, and then again it goes back.
Falling down there.
It just goes back to, you know, Ufotable. Just it looked real. It looked like the dust was gonna hit me out of the freaking, you know, TV, and just I was gonna start coughing like you know what I mean, like sweat. You know, yeah, exactly. Warm up, like dude. It was so freaking good. Like I give it to Ufotable to just give those like broad views of the, you know, destruction that is going, you know what I mean?
If you
like
read that in the manga, you wouldn't have felt the same way. Like, really? Oh yeah, just because of like what they did on that screen. Because like you said, like if you read that in the manga, you wouldn't feel like the dust, you wouldn't feel like the fire or anything. Like there is magic that Ufotable does, but like it is the Fate series at its core that is responsible for this. Ufotable is like they guide you. Like, hey, you want something amazing? They're like the hand that shows you that's amazing, but like you still need that hand to find
it. You think this is fire? Let me show you real fire. Like, let me walk you to the force of fire. You know what I mean? Like, but again, that's what I loved about it overall. You know, when you that was what hinged me for more, because I told you I watched Demon Slayer. Again, rookie status. I was telling him, you know, the new ones, and he was like, "But have you watched this one? And have you tried this?" And I was like, "No, I haven't watched any of that." You know, so but then he compared it to Ufotable, letting me know Ufotable wrote, you know, Fate Zero. And I was like, okay. And then it was during it was the guy with the drums, the demon on Demon Slayer. I can't remember what level he was, but he was the drum one. Yeah. That scene when she girl with the pink hair. Oh my god, I went blank. Mitsuri, when she was fighting him. That was when I was like, if that detail is in Fate, then 100%. And then sure enough, on that episode of 5, when they were all battling each other, Berserker comes out. You get to see this shit.
That weapon midair and slice the other one.
Yeah. So that's when I was just like, yo, this was 2013? I was like, hold up. Like, you know, they were already on this beforehand. But again, now that I know that they don't touch very much, that is why it gives them, you know, the ability to just drop dimes, drop money on that, you know, that scene. Let me just, it was going to cost us $1.5 million? Go for it. Like, you know, no worries at all. So, Yeah, was he 4? The Demon Slayer, the demon.
Oh,
he was number 4.
Because that was the one with the multiple personalities, right? Yeah.
I don't know if I have...
I was like, you actually have the book.
I actually don't know if I have that one written down. I do know that I think I got up to that point. Let me see. Hold on.
Which one does Zenitsu fight? Does he fight 5?
No, he's new 6.
Oh, he fights new 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I did not write him down. I think I have like...
Kazu's 3, I know Gon was 2, I know Kokoshibo's 1.
1, yeah.
And I know Muzan is the big bad.
Bro, yeah. I am so hyped for it. It's gonna go hard. And then again, to see it in theaters, this will be the first one, and I'm fingers crossed that they make a popcorn bucket. I would like to be the first one. Like,
would be.
I don't
know. Inosuke's forehead, right?
You think so? I think they would do one.
I would think if they did it like how you have some of the ones with all the people around it, you would have like probably the top 3 versus the
top 3. The top 3 demons. The top that movie. You think? Oh, that would be dope. Just a regular one, but I would like if AMC got it. Yeah, AMC would do the Boarhead. I think you know what I mean. So that would be freaking dope. What else would be a good one? The Infinity Castle, maybe like a castle with a bunch of windows on it. Maybe like I can see that. Maybe that's it. I could think off the top
of like how strong the Hashira are and the demons
on a popcorn tin. Dude, yeah, that would be dope.
Progresses upwards.
This guy was 5 and the multiple one was 4.
Yeah, Gyutaro was 6.
But yeah, so I wouldn't mind because I even like told the guy I was like, I conduct popcorn tins, but mainly Marvel. I'm getting into DC, and I was like, we'll get some anime, and he was like, they make anime popcorn tins. I was like, I don't know yet. I was like, but I know that they're coming into theaters, and this Demon Slayer is gonna be top tier. Yeah. I was like, so I feel like they might shell out a little bit. So
AMC popcorn buckets are always crazy. They're always cool.
So I think it would be pretty dope. Boarhead, and then like you said, like the 3 that are in the first part or whatever. So because again, it's a trilogy, right?
Yes.
Still mad. Still mad.
They're gonna need to pop off with Infinity Castle.
That's what he's saying. Yeah. He's defended that stat, because again, I was more upset, but again, I mean, if you put the love and tender care into each battle, then I won't be mad at all.
If I'm being honest with you, I feel like Infinity Castle after this it falls off. Like Demon Slayer kind of
after the last one.
For the last arc is kind of like
it was upsetting, right?
But, yeah, because the author rushed it. The author was upset that they rushed.
To keep up with
just family. Apparently. They said they acknowledged that it felt rushed, but like I will say this: if all of Demon Slayer was like Infinity Castle, that show would be like ranked top 5. A lot of people's, because like a lot of people say that the biggest thing to like stray away from with Demon Slayer is that its story is pretty weak. Everything that you think is going to happen is going to happen. There's not really many plot twists, but like it's still great. Like it's still. Demon Slayer is just one of those shows that is so easy for you to sit down and just enjoy everything you're watching. Like you don't need to be thinking too intricately. Just enjoy what's on the screen and like does that.
Yeah, and that one again, that one's the time lapse, like you said. You can give a decent month and a half, come in, and you still like have an idea of what's going on. Again, this one was I watched it in a night, and it was still some parts that I was like had to go back and I was like rewatch that episode and wrote my notes, and I was just like. Yo, that just happened? I was like, I don't remember because I was so, sucked in at that time, you know what I mean? So
Infinity Castle is heading to theaters. That's the arc. It's going to be 3 separate movies, and the rest is probably going to continue back off of the series.
I think they could like legit finish it off with the last movie.
Probably could, but we don't have confirmation on it. All we know is confirmed is that
all we know is that Infinity Castle are
3 movies.
As long as they don't do My Hero. Freaking My Hero could have been done, but they just really separated, and we're gonna wait till October to it's like
unless My Hero is gonna do it well, like do the animation pretty decently and everything. Then
I wonder what happened. Like again, they were able to drop a My Hero Vigilante. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, I was so hot when I saw it. When I saw that, that's when I was just like, I can't believe it. So
6 fight is probably the most well animated thing I've ever seen. Yeah. But when you watch Heaven's Feel and you see the last fight in the 3rd movie, I will say I'm biased towards Fate. It hurts me to say this. I think the Demon Slayer did look better. I'll give it that.
Well, again, 10 years more, they better look better. You know what I mean?
2020.
You said you did.
It came out, but like Man, the explosions on the fucking God, it's so good. I cannot wait for Infinity Castle, man.
Yeah.
Because like if Upper Moon 6 looked that good, can you imagine what Upper Moon 3, 2, and then Muzan's gonna look like?
Guillaume went hard. They were like, did they forget to let him know he was blind? Like, you know what I mean? When he was doing the stone skin, they were like, hey, homie's blind, by the way. Like, let him know. So it was so wicked. Again, the blood splatter, like that slow down to seeing it, spike, etc.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was beautifully done. Again, I'm ready for that one. And then again, you're telling me it was gonna be good, So.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, the buildup is there. And then like we were talking about it, how mad are you that it's going to be in July in Japan and then we don't get it till September.
See, the thing that makes me most mad about is that I'm probably going to get spoiled.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're saying.
It's one thing to make me wait longer, but like, you can't do that. Like, that's basically asking us not to use the internet for the rest of
for the 2 months.
People spoil stuff.
100%.
I got spoiled on Attack on Titan so many times. Sasha was my favorite character, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Potato girl.
The pain.
I found it at work.
The pain.
They never said how I found it out, by the way.
Mm.
So I had this like ad on Google, and like ads will always be like related to like something, or like no, it's articles, and usually articles are like related to what you search on Google. So like I get a lot of things about games, about anime. And I saw something that said, newest chapter of Attack on Titan revealed the death of main character, and you'll never guess who it is. And you'd think like the thumbnail would be like a silhouette of a character with like a question mark.
Yeah, which
just a picture of Sasha. And I click on it, it's like, surely it's not her, and it says, Sasha dies.
Dude, and that's how we feel about Marvel. Like, I have to go watch it. The movie came out on Thursday. I have to watch it by Saturday because if not, it's the same concept.
Yeah.
Like, you won't believe who was in the ending credits, and then it's a picture of the person that's in the ending. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why? And then we were even more shocked at Marvel's, concept because Thunderbolts came out, and then by literally Sunday, they already were changing to the new Avengers. So they were already like, spoiling it for the people that didn't make it over the weekend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are people that didn't even make it. So
them being called the new Avengers.
I don't know. Again, I like how they went with it because they were going in social media, so they were like starting to copyright it, and like they even made a joke in the series like, hey, they're copyrighting us, like we were called the new Avengers, with a Z. So I love how they played into the story, like they were like, we're gonna get screwed over, so let's make a joke out of it. I think what I mean. Like
going forward, they're actually gonna be like referred to as that, or do you think this is like the new Avengers?
I think so.
I would hope so.
I think so
because I don't know if you read comic books like that.
I don't read them too much. I did love Thunderbolts. I think Thunderbolts is like my second favorite Marvel movie now.
The Thunderbolts are very good.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Okay, not bad ranking at all.
I think Bucky's cool, and I kind of watched that movie for Bucky. Just
like I'm a boy, Buck.
Just kind of like thinking like, oh, it's gonna be about Bucky. He didn't play a big role, and I was like, damn, Yelena was cool. It's like
she was cool.
She was the best female lead I've seen in a movie in such a long time. Like, I loved everything about that character, and like, I love the scenes in the movie where like John Walker, this guy who's like shunned by America because he was like, Captain America's a good guy, but John Walker's a good soldier.
Yes.
So that's why people don't like him. But he held that rock up for that person, and then everyone else did, and they threw that rock to the side, and then everyone went up to Sentry, and they pulled him off. Like, it wasn't one person. Everyone came together, and they basically just ripped him off and saved his life. I was like, I can see why people call this movie a group therapy session, but like, it was still a fantastic.
It was still
done well.
Like, it put an emphasis on mental illness because
that's what we said.
You never really think about superheroes and their dilemma with their mental illness. Like, I still think one of the best part of the Iron Man movies is like that part where he's like analyzing his body. He's like, "Tell me what's wrong with me." He's like, "You had a panic attack." And he went, "Me? A panic attack?" And it's like, it's because they're human also, but like they have this title of superhero. Like, you think they can't suffer certain things, but they do.
But they do.
And that's what I really liked about Thunderbolts. Like, that was the whole thing. It was, I mean, they didn't have to kill Taskmaster. I'll say that. Like, why did they have
and loot him and looter right there? She would want me to have it.
Why did they do that? That was like, I love how everyone just like came together, faced their problems, but like there were two options. One, Taskmaster could have been a part of it, or two, just don't include Taskmaster.
They talked about it. They apparently had like two different scripts. Like, she was supposed to have a runoff thing with
where she was trying to kill John Walker.
And then they had a runoff with Ghost. Yeah.
Me and him discussed it.
They
Yeah.
didn't do that.
So it had to go through some writing. Again, it goes to the final say of Kevin Feige at the end, you know what I mean? So made more real, exactly. Yeah. So but yeah, that was the that's what we're talking. So we were saying that it's now the upbeat for Marvel. So Marvel's been falling flat for a little while, you know. So we got Brave New World that kind of like gave us a little, there's a pulse. And then, you know, Thunderbolts kind of gave it the heartbeat.
Yes.
So now we're going into Fantastic Four, which he doesn't believe will keep that, you know, hype. You know,
I'm hoping it does, but I don't know.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Now you might be, but I'm ready. I think it will. I think we're gonna get
to see the thing.
The thing. I want to see Galactus. That's the one.
That's what I'm gonna. Galactus and Silver Surfer.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think Silver Surfer. Why they change how Silver Surfer looks?
Well, originally in the comics, there is a female version.
Well, is in the movie for the original Fantastic Four was the guy one though, right?
Yes, but he does mention his wife in the original one, which was cool.
This isn't the same Silver Surfer then.
No.
Yeah, it's an
entirely different universe.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
Mm.
So this Fantastic Four is their own universe.
It's a reboot, huh?
No. It's their own universe. They're 4 year, 10 years, or something like that,
like
into their power, into their powers.
Oh, speaking of which, you lied to me.
Which one?
About Superman. How you were talking? I think you mixed it up with.
Lied to me.
I think you were thinking of Fantastic Four, talking about how they were like 4 or 5 years into their powers. You said Superman was about like 3-4 years into. It's only his first year.
That's what I say. He was new. I knew it was something. Yeah. So it was his first year with the powers. Which article would you find that in? No, you're good. You're good. Yeah,
I took a screenshot of it because
but that's what I meant. So James Gunn was trying to pull that back, their age, because he wants to give them the chance to age and, you know, progress in their, you know, in their, I guess, their character, you know, I guess, you know. So, no, I'm so. What do you think about Superman? You know, now that we're saying Superman, have you seen any of the trailers?
I did.
You were the first. Yeah, you were the first.
I'm not sure. I'd have to actually see the movie because I don't know what is all entailed in this movie. Is it a reboot? Is it an alternate timeline?
No, it's
okay. So it's a new world. It's a new world. New DCU.
Same thing with the Fantastic Four, because the Fantastic Four you're thinking of was owned by Fox. Yeah. So now that that's scrapped out, we have to have a new Fantastic Four come in. So
the only thing I'm worried about is like the thing that I think is the biggest struggle with superhero movies nowadays, especially Marvel. They think they have to make every like bit of conversation funny. They have to make it like a stupid joke. Like you have to remember like there's a story that's supposed to be told here, and like you don't need to make everything comedic, and like you don't need to like Hollywood should not have such a big impact on the story of a superhero, which
really
I feel like is what makes them so bad nowadays. And I'm hoping that every superhero movie can like find its a way like past this.
Yeah, and I think they. I can't even say they learn from their mistakes because they don't. But they really don't. But I think the one that was like the nail in the coffin was Love and Thunder. Yeah, you know, one just
giving a lot to Eternals also, whatever that is.
It really wasn't that bad.
Really?
I will defend Eternals to the end, because again, not one we get
a little bit. Yeah.
we're gonna get, you know, a.
Was Love and Thunder really that bad?
It was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was absolutely.
It was horrible.
It is. It was.
Like
it's probably one of my only movies that I will below a 5. You know, most of mine are like 7 and up. This is my first one. I would give like a 4. Like
that movie was. They try to overplay the funny so damn much.
Oh, that's exactly what I was telling about.
Yes,
like
you even got, you know, Christian Bale that looked terrible. Like, I mean, his lines. I feel like he might have one of those director cuts where like all his good shit is on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
Like that, you know, because you got Christian goddamn Bale, Batman, like, you know what I mean? Like, pianist, not the pianist. What else? What was the other one where he played real skinny role that I can't think of it? You know, it was another one that he dedicated his, you know, his body to, but nonetheless. But
great actor,
great actor nonetheless, and his role was minuscule.
But on top of that too, like the person he was playing is Gore, the God Killer. He kills.
I know they undermined his significance. To,
yes.
Like, how like much of a unit he is.
Yes.
Same with Taskmaster.
Dude, like they ruined his whole character entirely, and then it's just like you had so many different opportunities to do something great.
Eli has high hopes.
And
yes, yeah, I do. I really James Gunn is, I feel, gonna be the master puppeteer for this DCU. Like, because right now, this is going to be the first blockbuster summer that DCU and MCU are going to go head to head. Yeah. Like, he's going to reboot.
MCU's been on a fall.
Yeah, that's where we're at. So DCU is the new beginning with Superman. We got Creatures Commandos, so technically that was the start. But Superman is the first feature film of the new DCU that James Gunn is going to build, the universe. And then we got, like you said, a deep falling out with Marvel. We got Secret Invasion, Brave New World, the Marvels, all these like mediocre that didn't really hit, but they're there. Thunderbolts was the best out of them all at
great.
And so really like out of his later series. So what we're talking about. So the MCU is going to come out of its high with Fantastic Four, and then we got Superman coming out the gates for the DCU to set the standard.
And we got Doomsday.
And that's what I'm saying. Doomsday is next year.
Yeah.
So Doomsday, I think, will fall in the timeline of Peacemaker season 2 is at the end of this year. If there's something coming out, Lanterns HBO. Like,
but doesn't that come out in 27?
26, isn't it?
I don't remember.
You might be right.
We'll find out.
You might be right. No, he's always got dates on me, at least on that. Like, no, Superman definitely. I hold James Gunn to a standard. If he ever tunes into the podcast,
Nathan, I don't like Superman. I don't know if you watched any of our other stuff lately, but I went on a whole big rant about how much I don't like him, and I really want this movie to fail because of that. The trailer made me want to change my mind.
Wow.
That trailer was interesting enough for me to be like, I want to like the movie, but I still don't like Superman.
Yeah, I think Superman's always fell short of I think Superman just exists solely as he is the superior god, but just because someone's superior in their abilities, it doesn't make them interesting. That's why I love Batman so much more. Batman, I think is cool about Batman is when you look at Justice League, you have Superman and Batman that are on their own pedestal. Superman is literally a god. Batman's just really smart.
Yeah,
he's just a guy who's really smart, and honestly, as you can tell by how much I love Fate Zero, I love sad stuff. So that's probably why I like Batman movies also, because Batman's a very tragic character.
He really is.
He's an edgelord, let's face it, but he's a damn smart edgelord. And part of the reason, if you guys have watched the animated Justice League shows,
they're so good.
Oh my god, it's literally where DC peaks, but it doesn't get the attention. Dark Side Chronicles.
Oh yes.
That. Oh my god, that is so good. Dude. But we'd never get anything like that in movie wise, would we? Because I don't think Dark Side has been in movies, but it hasn't been good.
Yeah, they haven't been really good movies, but they. I'm hoping with this trailer seeing not just Superman, but you have Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific in there. And I'm just seeing their little clips in that trailer, I was I'm having hopes for this whole DC going up, and I really want to like this movie now.
Yeah, DC's been kind of in the ground. The only thing I know that they've been doing is the newer Batmans with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Great, I think.
Yeah, Matt Reeves. Yeah. And so find out that, okay, so make sure that, when you follow us, we give you the news and rumors. So one of the rumors was we were seeing, being thrown around was Matt Reeves was actually being let go from writing and directing the Superman 2 movie, which has been on pause, on a hiatus, on a pre-production, on waiting on the script and, all this nonsense. Well, the rumor was that he was not going to be doing the movie, but... James Gunn comes in and lets us know. Again, we don't have a James Gunn for the MCU because James Gunn kind of just nips it in the bud. You hear this thing and he's like, hold on, no, funny but not real. You know what I mean? So he let us know that he is still part of the project. Yeah. So for those that were excited and or were heartbroken by our news. Again, we did say rumor. I think we didn't say it was confirmed.
Yeah, well, because we have a hard time confirming ever since we got burned with Venom.
We'll never will I say.
Dance.
We had a confirmation of an actor that played that, and then come to find out it was a whole different actor, and it was so upsetting. Again, for a news source like us to get it wrong, it hurt. It bothered me really bad. Yeah, exactly, dude. And everyone's like, don't believe the Hydeout. Who are they? But yeah, so this summer blockbuster is going to be good, and then to have anime in the mix with Demon Slayer coming in September, I think everyone's back in school at that time, so summer blockbuster, and like you said, that end of the summer into the school year would be a good one, and I think that's what it's going to take. That's going to take away from the hero fatigue and get people back on the anime track again, because it was Jujutsu that went to theaters that brought the hype, and then Demon Slayer came in with Mugen Train, right? Or was it Mugen Train and then Jujutsu Kaisen's movie?
Mugen, I think, came first.
Yeah,
Mugen was a while ago.
Mugen was a while.
So,
but that's also just me saying.
We appreciate it, Ally.
Y'all were my brothers. Appreciate it. Thank you. Did we say? Yes. Thank you. I was scared. Again, we make sure we don't say confirmed anymore.
Until we're 100% sure.
Until the movie comes out.
On the streets saying, no, Hydeout told me to. Even if you guys are lying, be proud they're saying.
Yeah, straight up. No. The Hydeout said he was casted. I was like, that was just...
Speaking of rumors, real quick, because I did find one that I found interesting. It's about that Ironheart coming up. Apparently, the co-creator of Riri Williams, his name is Mike Deodato.
Oh, I see where you guys. I read this one.
There's Marvel Studios isn't paying him for the Ironheart show,
and because he's the creator, the
co-creator,
the comic book.
Yes.
That's wild. And then he says for a monster money making machine or something like that to spread a little bit is far behind me.
Yeah, well, he's like, when a character you poured your heart into helps fuel the engine of a multi-billion-dollar machine, a small share of that success only feels fair. And I was like,
I haven't worded any better.
I was like, I completely agree with that.
Did you guys react to what's
LOTM? Lord of the Mings?
That's what I was thinking. Lord of something. I was like, what else? I don't know.
We're gonna wait till you tell us what else.
I'm working really hard in my head to think of the movies.
I'm trying to think of movies or shows coming
out. No.
I know they have a new The Last Airbender.
Yes, the movie. Yeah. Legend of Aang.
Yeah.
So is that what he's? Let us know, German Sparrow. What is it that you're speaking of? Even I don't know what that.
I think he just came with an abbreviation.
He's gonna make his own for the movie.
Sounds like it could be real though.
Lord of the Mysteries.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know that either.
What is that?
Is that an anime? Is that Marvel, or where we at here? But Lord of the Mysteries.
I don't know. I'm lost on that one.
It's been a hyped anime of the year.
I don't even know.
I looked right at you. I looked right at you.
It's a Chinese web novel.
Oh, that's probably why. Because those don't get any traction ever.
They do.
It's because
it looks. Hey, don't get me wrong though. This artwork for it right here looks pretty good.
Oh, it's already got a trailer for the anime adaptation. That's sweet. No, I haven't heard of that at all.
It looks pretty nice.
Is that on Netflix, Crunchyroll? But by the way, German Sparrow. By the way, I've never seen your name before. So if you haven't yet, I don't know if you're somewhere in the U.S. only. Unfortunately, I cannot send to the U.K. I don't got kind of funds like that. But subscribe on the channel. Show us that you subscribe. Send a screenshot to us or in the on our YouTube comments. That way you can be entered into the show. Matter of fact, I think I'm just gonna put his name. Is that what we decided, right? If they're commenting and responding, so let's see here.
Well, from what I'm seeing, because I'm looking it up right now, Eli, and what is it, Sparrow?
Sparrow.
It's saying it is scheduled to be released in June this year, but in China. So I don't know if we got.
We don't have anything on our side yet.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking it up right now. But
new Godzilla movie? Have y'all been hearing about that?
Dude, yes.
Is it the continuance of Kong and?
No, I think this one is different because I do know that they're supposed to be making a second one for Plus One, Godzilla Plus One.
Oh, the Japanese one that
Godzilla
minus one. There you go. Yeah.
So now it's going to be another one. So I don't know. Hopefully.
Awesome, German. Again, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe to the channel. Again, the gifts that we're giving away are this hat here, and we're giving away, a popcorn tin.
Bucket.
So this is a popcorn tin bucket. Yeah, it's not a tin because it's not tin. And then it comes with some wings on the back. So
Captain America, Brave New World.
Yep, Brave New World. He said, no, it's global on June. What does that mean?
For the anime. Because I'm just like, after seeing you talk about it, I'm looking it up right now. So I'm trying to see, but that's the only thing. It said in China, so
next week's episode, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, hey, it's coming out in June, so that might be some. Oh, June's packed though, isn't it?
July. June is Ironheart. June is Ironheart.
Okay, so yeah, we have something. Because Ironheart, I don't know how, but Ironheart comes out the end of June too. So yeah, so we're gonna have some stuff we could probably look into it. We'll definitely have to check that out. So we'll talk about it probably next time we're on to see how we feel about that trailer.
Yeah, I'm just getting it ready so that way I don't have to fill it all out when we get to the end. We're getting close to the end. Appreciate it, German. I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy the show. We cover all things anime, Marvel, DC. Right now we're on a little Marvel and DC talk after we're way heavy.
Sorry if we
you missed it. You missed it. So do we want to
like 2 hours ago?
Do you want duck race? Should we do? There's timers. I don't
want to see that Minecraft one.
Want a block race?
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. So.
How many people?
Right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, that's a pretty good little number.
Names.
We're preparing the race.
So which one are we doing right now then? Which one are we gonna do for
Bucket first?
Bucket? All right. Roll a d20.
So are they gonna be able to see this race?
I don't think so. No.
We can hold the camera up. We can hold it up to the camera, and we can watch it from here. Wait, that's what
that is true. That is true.
Hold it up to the camera so that they can watch it.
Yeah, that's what I was definitely gonna do. Let's see.
Well, I appreciate you looking out for that too, because honestly, it looks really good.
Hey, we'll
just the
content to talk about.
Yeah, always.
Especially if it's something that both of us haven't heard of. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked straight at y'all. I was like, he said anime.
I haven't just heard of stuff.
Like, yeah, I've heard of something here and there.
But I heard of that.
Yeah.
It's under the radar for me.
So unfortunately,
but I think it's because it's Chinese based too.
Yeah.
So,
because unfortunately, it can't do the Minecraft one. That's the premium users.
Of course.
So we're stuck with
duckies.
So
stuck with pay the money right now. Pay them. I want the Minecraft one.
I honestly am very hyped up for that too, because that'll be one of our first Chinese ones too, because we have all the
Manhwa, which was a solo leveling, and then we've done nothing but Japanese
stuff. So going into a Chinese one will be very interesting.
Probably new viewers too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually interested because I'm gonna have to look into that myself. I'm gonna have to find a way. My thing that sucks for me is because I'm supposed to be the manga side. So having to read something somewhere is very difficult sometimes because I'm like, I don't know where to go.
Yeah, it's not on Shonen Jump where you go.
Yeah, I do have the Shonen Jump app and it helps me with certain ones, but then there's other, sometimes I have to go Google and be like, where can I read this thing? And then I feel...
those sus ads?
Yes!
Bro, I remember I was trying to watch stuff in school and I was like, I don't know if it'd be worse for people to see right now. This hot single woman who's 3 miles from me, apparently, or anime.
I think it'll be more understandable for them to see the hot single woman, and then
I guess I'd rather them see me watching porn. I guess.
Yeah. Well, especially growing up with our age,
I know when you were shunned for it, now it's the norm.
Yeah, now everybody loves it.
I used to have to watch my anime on 16 different increments of YouTube, 2-minute long video. You remember that?
Louise.
What is your favorite manga? I mean, we could do you, Nathan, first. Favorite manga.
Favorite manga? I feel like it's too much homage has to be paid to Berserk.
Berserk? Okay.
But I'm gonna try to say something that's not Berserk.
All right, we got 8 names on the list.
Oh,
so
when's it after this?
As we can, are we ready or should we wait a little bit? Again, YouTube followers, if you have not entered Again, we have a little break in the moment. This is the prize that we're going to be raffling off. I'm going to scoot back here. Individually, yeah. So let's see here. Oh, no.
Oh. Here, look. You could just do that like we did last time.
I got you. All right, guys. So we got here the Hydeout hat. Again, this will be customized, to your liking. Again, we talked about it at the beginning of the show. So if you haven't subscribed or commented on the channel, definitely comment, and then we'll you'll get you a chance to enter the giveaway. So here's this hat. Again, it's a leather patch hat made by a friend of mine, branded Texas Traditions. I will give y'all the DM to the winner who wins it. You'll be able to get into choose your color, scheme of the hat. White, black, gray, camo, you name it. But again, the logo will stay the same, and you get to rep again this awesome podcast. Again, this is thank y'all to you guys that are entertained by our craziness, our our ideals, and our opinions and our long conversations. And then
always derail.
hard.
Got stuff to talk about.
Donkey Kong, rails going on.
The jumps and everything.
So and then the next one as well will be the popcorn bucket, Brave New World. It will have the wings in the back. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. That is the goal here. I appreciate all of it. If you do so, that way you can enter this and win this. I appreciate it. So I really enjoyed the show. We enjoy the show, bringing you again all this content, and I hope y'all continue to do so. But yeah, the Real Hydeout on YouTube, the Hydeout page on Facebook. Again, share and like. Then or comment on the page, enter to get a chance to win. I think I'm gonna give it away in the next 5 minutes because we've been talking for 2 hours and like 45 minutes because we can't
on your mixer that it shows you where they're talking from, like one's Facebook, one's YouTube. That's cool.
Oh yeah. We enjoyed that when we first got that feature. It was like
it was pretty cool.
Yeah. We were like, now we know where we're getting it from, and stuff.
Yeah.
So
but going to YouTube Live has been a game changer since we started doing that.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's getting like more views.
Yeah,
that's actually been our more interactive.
Maybe it's just because YouTube's like more accessible to maybe you're easily because the reason why I think that is maybe because I don't watch many Twitch streamers, but I watch YouTube all the time.
Yeah,
and
that's how we felt.
Things so easy to see. Maybe that's.
And I think it's the top thing as well. It comes right off the top. It says live, live on this channel or whatever. So
yeah, Eli, when we saw that we were able to do it, it was just
comments, yes.
Because sometimes we know us over here staring at it trying to
for
read
30 seconds, exactly.
You guys can keep up with it.
Yeah, it has, bro. Again, we're building on up slowly. 2 years in, but we're we're going on up. But all right, let's see. So we got. Yeah, I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes. 10:05, we'll give if y'all want to comment, share, do y'all have y'all's pages up, So just let it know one more time.
Let me see if I can pull it up. But okay, you were going to say the manga?
Yeah, if it was favorite manga, if we're talking, because I feel like it's, I don't want to say Attack on Titan, but if it's just manga that hasn't had an anime adaptation, if we're limiting it down to that, probably Vagabond.
Ooh, now that you say that.
Because, it's easy to say your favorite manga could just be your favorite, anime, but even then, obviously the manga might not have been as great as Attack on Titan with, things like soundtrack, but, that's a hard question, because, when I think of, what my favorite manga is, I just immediately think of, what anime I enjoyed the most, and that's not accurate to the question, that's
I agree
hard,
with that.
but, I think in terms of, homage, I'd have to say Berserk, Berserk is, one of the few things that I had to read in increments, because, it's that dark.
Yeah.
I was talking about Akame Kill with him earlier, saying how that thing's just sad to be sad. Berserk's the same exact thing, man. But there is story to it. But it's a very tough one. But I just can't deny the beauty of the art in that manga. Also, oh no, never mind. My favorite manga is One Punch Man. I lied. I talked about that. Oh, that's what favorite manga should be. Your favorite art direction too.
Okay.
Yeah, One Punch Man is like insane. Have you seen the stuff that's gonna have to get animated?
Dude, I'm caught up with it so far.
He's still telling me, he's like, you don't understand.
You don't.
You don't have any idea.
Dude, this season coming up is gonna blow his mind. But we appreciate you finding us, Sparrow, because it just, finding people online is kind of a fun thing to do every now and then. Just randomly looking for something else to watch, and you're like, stumble across this channel that it's pretty interesting.
If you don't mind me asking, where are you tuning in from? You can say state, that would be fine, so I appreciate the new followers. YouTube has blown us up. We had one from UK that tuned in like at 2 in the morning.
A couple times,
2 in the morning. He came in and was like, "Yo, I'm about to go to bed, but just tuning into y'all's show." So has the cosmic horror vibe. Cosmic, nice. Is that what you would describe it as?
Yeah.
Eli, by the way, I know I talk about how I like to watch dark stuff, and like I'm not really into the really happier stuff. Fairy Tail is my guilty pleasure.
Fairy Tail is very happy.
It's very happy. It's literally the power of friendship.
Yeah, no, that's very much what it is.
I complain about, but like I watch someone like.
Oh, Italy, nice.
No way.
Whoa, that is awesome.
Damn,
what are you
dude!
doing?
Hell yeah!
Great choices.
But you disqualify yourself from the drawing, unfortunately. I've never sent anything international, so I couldn't even. I don't know where to begin to how much that would cost me. So I apologize. But again,
if you would have won.
Yeah. I mean, I can do that. I would feel terrible if hey, you would have won.
Never mind.
Yeah. So we're doing some anime, controversy.
You're not a part of.
So, but DQ. But dude, awesome, Sparrow. Again, so this is cool. Again, this is what we're talking about. Like to know that we're reaching out to people across the pond. Awesome. Thank you. For tuning in. I'm glad we can. Hoping putting a smile on your face at 4 in the morning, you know what I mean? While you're snacking on snacks like I did, watching, Fate last night, so.
Saying, man, I gotta get some sleep, and then one more episode.
One more. So awesome.
Just finishing work, yeah.
And we know the feeling. Yeah, we know the feeling.
Sitting, then there are people sitting at 2 a.m. So like this is probably like because realistically, like if you get off work at like 2 a.m., you have some hours to be awake afterwards.
You're snacking on a snack, sitting, winding down, so glad you're tuning in, man.
I will
awesome.
say we are discussing a time change though. So for us,
what do you mean?
For instead of 7 to 10.
Okay, yeah. So
yeah.
How did you find the Hydeout? Yeah, definitely. Sparrow, how did you find us? Is it the live, index up top? I mean, that'd be great to know. But you're right. So speaking of, so for you, Sparrow, and to all those in UK, I may be on your radar, or we may be on your radar a little earlier. So not this week, but on the 31st, we'll be returning. So we will not be making a film episode this weekend on the 24th. We won't be returning till the 31st since we had a back-to-back Saturday, and then today we're going to give you a little break from us, let the news build up, all that good stuff. But again, tune into the Hydeout page on Facebook. We will, continue to drop off the news in there. But yes, we will now be streaming on Saturdays live around, I want to say 2 at the moment. It may change, but 2 sounds like a solid time. 2 to 4. So again, I don't know what time that is in the UK or anything.
YouTube recommendation.
Wow, we're recommended.
It's YouTube
recommendations. Nice.
So
it has to be something that
in the algorithm. In his algorithm. Yeah. Okay, that slowly but surely that feels dope. But yes, we'll be streaming now at 2 to 3 UA time. So with that, USA time. So, Central Standard Time, 2 to 3, 2 to 4. And then, yes, sir.
Let's go.
So,
they got Twitch.
We have Twitch as well. He said that's hopping. Happy tears. Hell yeah, happy tears.
Yeah, this happened like
last
time,
the last one. Yeah,
awesome. Dude, it's amazing.
And this is bigger for you. You were here last time, and we didn't have a chat last time. You know what I mean?
Last time we didn't have anything like this.
You actually had some people commenting on your stuff and on our things. So this is dope. This is dope, guys, and this is why we do it. We're having a good time online. We get to shoot the shit, talk about what we love. And have fun while we're doing it, seeing different people's opinions, different ideals, and stuff like that. So, but 10-10, we're gonna draw. So I had been posting. I was seeing,
now?
Well, we passed it. We passed it. So, German, I apologize that you are disqualified. When when we get further in life. Then
we can do international.
We'll do international.
International will be very cool.
The Hydeout is the thing that people talk about on the streets.
Yes,
yes,
like that's said this happened. You're wrong.
That's the way we do it.
News source.
Dude, I'm halfway tempted to write Marvel and DC.
Hey, what's the password? I forgot it.
Unavailable for one. No, you're gonna miss the password.
We missed it. My love, what's the password? The tablet. What? Oh, there it is. Yeah. No, it's not it.
Yeah, Sparrow. All you need is that one, and it sparks it off, and hopefully we're gonna find that one.
Guys, I legitimately locked myself out of the tablet. So we're late.
That one video getting you famous.
That would be dope. Share.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you still following us, Sparrow, and when we get that big, I don't see why we wouldn't send a hat.
I told you guys about this, but from that One Punch Man video, I got like 50 followers also.
No way,
really?
Dude, that's so freaking dope, man. So
there's at least 50 people who agree.
There are,
and since you are new and seen a few of our videos, our guest Nathan is actually a reoccurring guest. He came in and he filmed one in a cosplay that was a viral video of his, for One Punch Man. One of our higher stream videos, again, 100 views, nothing crazy, but proud of it, and definitely go take a look at it. It was so fun. So exactly, we know. Promise.
I've been talking to him about it. He's been talking to me about it, so we'll figure out something.
They'll get your name tattooed on them, right, guys?
Yeah. Right around there.
I'll get a tramp stamp, Or was it the joke on Thunderbolts? Not America's ass, but America's asshole. You know what I mean? He's like, they asked him in an interview. They were like, "Well,
let's go."
They said, "If Captain America is America's ass, then what are you?" And then he was like, "I'm America's asshole." They're like, Bucky was even laughing. He was like, "Yep, that's definitely it right there." So I've seen him. Awesome, dude. So so definitely.
It's awesome right now. We have 5 people on YouTube, so
awesome. Again, YouTube. Again, comment. We're last minute, literally last minute. I am putting the names in. You can't tell.
The
I locked myself out. I want people to get a chance to win the hat. So
it was. You're just trying to build up people.
Right?
What? Act like I didn't know. I opened it like 1,000 times, but the moment I needed,
I didn't see you.
I was just like, "Yo, what the heck?" I went blank. I was just like, "Wait, I had just entered names on this thing. What are we talking about?" So, all right, we have, again, 7 names minus German. Again, I apologize. But if we're at 100K and you're still around, we're definitely going to be sending people to the ones that, that showed that love at our, videos from the early days when next thing you know, we're going to have a professional studio, whatever. The dreams are there, guys. The dreams are there. So, again, I appreciate you guys. It looks like nobody's going to share. I think we got our fair share of people. Good luck to those that have entered. I'm excited to give you all the opportunity. So let's see here. All right. I'm not seeing any notifications on my end. Let me double check the Hydeout page.
Nothing on my end.
All righty, guys. That is it. So I will, good luck. The less, the merrier. That's what I think. So
hold that up to the camera.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I wish I could do the page on there, but
you got it right this time.
So,
You know what you're entering this time?
Yes. Yeah. I knew it the whole time.
Let's go. We did it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's double check. Your buddy John is in there. Eli's entered. Veronica's entered. Mendez. Okay, he's in there. Mendez is in there. Checking the comments, guys. Checking the comments.
Messages.
Yeah. I'm going through it.
100 messages is hard,
John
guys.
is in there. June is in there. That's a fake comment. I don't know who this guy is. Never came back. I won't enter.
I think, wasn't it his friend or no?
No. This was the John one was.
Oh yeah.
John.
All right. So let's see. That's it. So alrighty, good guys. So I am going to hit done. Let's see, done.
Let's see these duckies.
7 names.
Are they different colors too?
Was that?
Are the ducks
I
different
think
colors?
it shows colors, costumes, yellow only, colors and costumes. So I'll do that.
Okay.
So those are the colors and costumes. So they'll have 7 different ones. So those are the names. And then, all right, update and save.
And they're off. No, I lied. I'm sorry. Good luck to everyone. Congratulations to the winners.
Is this an app, by the way?
It was a website that was recommended.
Oh, okay.
So.
It would be a very good app. But like you said, the little marble ones with ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
we need that. We need to find out where they sell those.
Because the best part about those is how hyped they are. Like, the person who's in first immediately goes to last
Yes.
goes to first.
And just the
So the
randomize
name
of it all.
just got erased.
How dare you? This is the third or fourth time we've done reverse phone it now.
All right, y'all can choose something to talk about. Ask a question, whatever.
What was your favorite manga?
Ooh.
Yeah, you didn't answer.
I didn't answer. That's a tough one because I've read a few.
One Punch
Some
Man's
of
a good
them.
answer, though, isn't it?
One Punch Man is a good one, especially for if I'm gonna go off of stuff that like if you were trying to do like how you were saying like not animated,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of difficult because I'm like there's a handful of them that I remember.
You get 2 answers then. One's for that not animated, then just one's favorite in general, I guess.
One of my favorite ones still has to be Claymore. That manga was so good, so well written, and later on the art display of it was amazing.
Yeah, Vagabond was the other one that I said of my favorite one that's not adapted.
Not adapted yet.
So good. And it's a sign-in too. Ooh. I love sign-ins.
Another one, I'm trying to think of something that hasn't been animated because like after so long, it's just like
you forget which ones are animated.
Yeah.
Too, yeah.
There is one that I know that it got 9 seasons, but I never hear anybody talk about Reborn.
Never heard of that. Yeah.
See,
yeah. A 2-minute race or a 1-minute race?
1 minute.
1 minute. You don't need it any longer. It's I think it's Kaio Hitman Reborn.
It's a 9-season anime.
Yes.
When it come out?
I have to look up the anime, but this is the actual. That's the actual manga. And it is very interesting. I love the whole gimmick of it because of the little baby of it.
Mm-hmm.
He is known as the world's greatest hitman, and he is training that kid that he's next to. I think that's a middle schooler.
To be a hitman?
He is training him to be the next mafia head.
What the hell?
Yes.
That's the story of the show?
Yes. And it just like the kids are of course reluctant for it, but it's so interesting. And then they have like later on he's like, oh well, you have to get your family together, and it's people that he goes to school with.
Oh.
And yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's a crazy anime manga thing. So, but I need to look up when the actual manga or the anime came out because it was around for a while.
Oh, is it set up now?
This is better that way. That way.
Oh, that way. Yeah.
Okay. It was animated from 2006 to 2010.
That was when it was done.
Yeah, for Reborn.
He says
animation?
it needs a remake.
Oh, so you know Reborn?
Hitman Reborn is a classic.
It does need a remake, and I wish they would end it because where they ended it at, I wasn't too mad, but they missed out the whole last arc. If you read it, you know, but if you don't, then that last arc is freaking awesome.
Alrighty, guys, we are ready finally. So what? So we're gonna go with the popcorn tin first, and then the hat. Is that
Yeah.
Okay. So alrighty, guys. So for the start of the race, we got it ready. I'm gonna move my little thing so I can be an announcer.
Here we go.
I was gonna talk like an auctioneer.
This one's the first. No, that one's the first.
I might not be able to talk that
last.
fast. Let's see.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it. That's yeah, that's hard. Oh wait, there you go. That's kind of.
You just have to hold it up for a minute.
Workout for the day. No, not yet.
No,
He hasn't even pushed start yet.
Alright, so someone's gonna have to go push start.
This is his workout for the day, guys. Be careful.
Watch out for the camera, yeah. Ready, guys?
Ready.
It's up there.
Alright, it's going.
And
We're
start.
off. We got Mendez in the lead.
And we said
Nathan coming up
Why does
on
Eli
the...
look like Trump?
What?
Eli's done looks like Trump.
Why? We got Veronica coming up. Nathan's unicorn is coming. Nathan's unicorn's taking the lead.
Oh my god.
We got Mendez. We have Veronica.
Guys, come on.
who's gonna take it?
I'm Mexican.
That makes it worse.
It's freezing.
Oh wait, Eli's catching up.
Uh-oh.
Coming up from behind.
Who's gonna be the one?
Who is it? Nathan's in the lead.
Eli!
Eli, go! Nathan's gonna take it. Wait, Mike's coming up.
Mike? Out of nowhere?
Mike, dude! Mike, I want that fucking Mike! What you doing?
Is it Mike?
Oh, and the winner is
Is it my friend Johnny?
Yep,
John?
your
Oh.
friend
That
John.
popcorn bucket.
That is awesome. That is the winner of the popcorn bucket, guys. That is who won. Go ahead and hit him up. You should text him.
Right.
Let him know that is what he won. I'm going to put that on the camera one more time. This is what he won, guys. Popcorn bucket, Brave New World. Just given away to a new fan, hopefully today. That is going to be given away. So,
I got some sick
alrighty, guys. Alrighty, so
He's winded. You hear it?
Yeah.
my knees hurt. You know.
You want me to do the next
no,
one?
you're good. Oh, getting old, guys. Getting old. Alrighty,
Well,
so
we're glad you liked that. That was actually pretty interesting.
I had the lead the whole time.
You did.
dude, Mike was the one that scared me. I was like, Mike was at the back, and then he came up.
He came up for out of
So,
nowhere.
alrighty,
I like Brave New
guys. So, guys, the next giveaway again. This is close to my heart. I am super excited to the fan that will win this. I hope y'all represent the Hydeout proudly. Wear it when y'all go to the store. The whole nine. So I worked really hard on the logo. And then again, guys, this one's fully customizable to your liking. So if you are the winner of this, I will send you the DM and the page that you will send your DM to customize your hat. Branded Texas Traditions. Again, thank you. I will put you in the comments for such a beautifully made and tailored hat. And I, again, hope the next person, truly enjoys it. So, all right, let's do this. We got another race.
Sparrow said he wants to be in the next race. It looks like fun. If you win, though, then we're going to have to give it to... But there's no
way in the race. Whoever gets second, then.
But we can't determine who gets second.
Yeah,
That's the only issue.
It didn't show that who was second.
Okay, can we intentionally set Sparrow up to lose, though?
Behind the end.
Can we rig it? For one person?
All right, so race again. It removes the winner from the next race. No.
That would actually be pretty interesting. So that way you're not guaranteed to win. But at the same time, I'm like, because, I mean, if you would win both, that'd be cool.
That's what I'm saying. It's up to you guys. It's up to you. I mean,
I don't know.
Take Johnny out. Take
Take
Johnny
Johnny
out.
out.
I want to see the people who are commenting a lot more than him.
Cool. All right, race again.
We can't see who's second. That's the only issue, Sparrow.
So
Because it only shows us the winner. It doesn't show us who came in second.
all right, so alrighty, guys. So those that are just tuning in,
no. I was gonna say unless you put Johnny back or Sparrow in as Johnny.
Oh wait, that's. You can still win.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Because if I clear it, I ain't gonna. I went back and had to retype some names in there, man.
Oh, that's so much work.
7. The Hydeout, guys. The hat is it. So this is what you guys will be winning: a beautifully leather made hat. That was perfect, dude. Literally on the hat.
Like right on the hat.
Like, so guys, good luck to all those that are about to participate in this race. It's gonna be Eli as Donald Duck. Donald Truck, and then Veronica as Spider Duck, Mike as the pink, blob, Nathan as the unicorn. We got June as the strawberry duck, and we got Mendez as the regular ducky. Alrighty, guys. So good luck. I am super excited. I'm ready to give this away. It's been a long time coming, so here we go. Another race.
Good luck, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
They start off with the lead this time.
Hey, we can't help that.
Yeah,
you need to stop trying to win so much. You're right here. Is that one good? Is that one good? I can't see it now. No,
Spider-Man.
I mean, I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it, but
There
you know.
we go. Wait.
Oh,
Yeah, we're good.
okay. And we're off.
Race is off.
Who is
Mike wants vengeance. Look at this thing go. Oh, it's I'm in last now.
Hey, you never know. Mike was in last before.
I'm about to get this hat. I'm sorry, Mike.
June's coming up. June's coming up.
June said, "Nope, it's gonna be mine."
Why you sticking in the height? You're gonna web out or something.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I know you can slingshot from building. What is this, dude?
June is taking off. June's Mendez is coming up on third, second. He's now in second.
Uh-oh, here we go. Who's gonna take it?
This like last ending stretch. We know it's not the beginning of the race that matters.
It's the last 10 seconds. Might as well do a 10-second race. Okay, come on now, guys. What's going on here? Why are you letting me get this?
All right, last 10 seconds here now. Who's gonna take it?
I do like some hats.
Spider-Man.
Veronica.
Who's gonna
go? June. Oh man!
Hey, June was pretty demanding from the start on that one.
June is the winner. Alrighty, guys, that is so dope. Again, thank you, Veronica, who is tuning in right now in the comments. With that recommendation, you can now come back, Mr. Nathan.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck to me on that. There we go.
There we go. And then you can come this way, so that way you don't trip over the wire.
Smart.
Ooh, I did wake up a sweat. Jesus Christ, I just crouched.
That shoulder hold is really unmistaken, dude. Like, it's underrated. A lot of people don't realize holding something light it can really mess you up.
Tap the trophy and show you the race results.
Oh, what? Hold up.
Too late.
Hey. It's never too late.
Oh, yes, remember the login again.
Uh-oh. Hopefully he doesn't lock himself out.
Oh, it does. We could have did that.
Oh, you.
Wow.
We'll do it next time.
Next time. German, we actually could have, put you in.
Next time. We'll just have fun next time.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we actually will maybe have something for the year anniversary. We have our anniversary coming up here in June, at the end of June. So we'll be streaming 2 years. We were trying to think of some ideas for that as well. I don't know if it will be a hat or anything, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
But on that race, it was June, Mendez, and then Veronica number 3. So Mendez was pretty close.
Damn.
Eli, you got last.
Eli, you were last, unfortunately. So, but guys, I again thank you, Nathan, for coming in. Again, this one, we knew we were gonna go overboard on this one. This one, when you always come in, we bring the energy, we bring the sporadic conversations. But it's the hair. But yeah, dude, it slowed me down. But thank you, Nathan. Again, I'm glad that you took your time out of your day to come and talk about your passion, which is Fate Zero. Finding out that it's your second passion because Attack on Titan took it.
Nothing's taking that over. So I will always glaze Fate Zero. I love that.
It was so good, guys. So if you guys haven't personally watched Fate, I definitely recommend it. Again, recommend it to him, to me. And then he already knew about it, on the Unlimited Blade Works side. But yeah, I was gonna say 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It was so beautifully written. The characters were well developed. Just a mind screw the whole time. Like, there we go. Beautiful tragedies, and these characters that were, developed that, you see it through the end. So guys, if you haven't, definitely check out that one. It was really beautifully done. I'm going to go into the UBW, UBWs, so, jump into that. And then again, guys,
Steel 3 movies, you're gonna see that new Demon Slayer animation on that.
Oh yeah.
So
we should watch the movies together if we ever get the chance. The movies are so hype.
I got a projector,
That's true.
big screen. So
popcorn.
Some good popcorn, yeah.
Web novel fan fiction. There's fan fiction.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. A lot of people, because like I said, it's like,
you go hard on all ends. Like if you hear anything, I keep
myself versed in it all. Some of it I'm just like, okay, that exists. But it's like, no, I keep it well versed because like.
Thank you, Veronica. You have a good night.
They're hungry because like when you give them something great, they want more. Because like we talked about it plenty. There's so much you can do with the Fate series. It's just a matter of like, can you make that compelling story? And sometimes people take it in their own hands and they do a good job with that.
And again, with what's coming out, there's some that are like, like again, what is it? Doomsday and Thanos, the fan made one where they show like if he gets like in the he gets gutted, right? Like the skull, exactly. So when you see those kind of fan made things, or like even like live action Naruto's where they show Sasuke and Itachi and all, and they're just like, yo, what? Like you got that kind of animation, and
just for that.
Exactly,
for the
fun, just for the clicks and likes. It's insane because as we are in this show in this like realm of social media. Editing's not that easy.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? You sit there and you're like, oh, well, I could do that. No.
Dude, I used to be the announcer in school. Hated editing. I could not do it.
Yeah.
So when I got all the fancy jazz in the outro, all the fancy jazz, going in the middle and everything, it felt cool, So, but again, Nathan, thank you for taking your time coming out. It was an awesome time, guys. Tune in again on the 31st, new time. We're gonna post on in the weeks coming, showing we won't be on until the 31st on the new time. And then again, congratulations to June for the hat and to John for the popcorn bucket.
Yes.
So again,
Ku Cullen from the Fifth Grail War. That Lancer is my favorite character from the Fate series.
Okay.
Skandar's a close second though.
Dude, I felt
any Lancer. I love
just
them.
about. Yeah.
There you go, and then a Skandar.
The Skandar was dope. And then again, Lancer's story was good. Again, I was just like, yo, so why can we get just a good happy story? Like, no, all of them were just beautifully done tragically. You know what I mean? And then again, to go out the way he did, end of honor, his own, own master makes him commit suicide. Like the worst way to go out as a freaking knight. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
have to watch those trailers too. By the way.
Yeah. Well, definitely watch it.
Was it the Lord of the Mysteries?
Lord of the Mysteries, yeah.
So definitely.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh is just
OP. He's that guy.
I can't say every character.
He's that guy.
Every character except for Zokin and Archibald and.
Dude, I thought they were your favorite.
Oh my bad. Talk about
I love evil. I love evil the whole time. So, but German, Eli. Veronica, thank you guys for tuning in, staying in, into the mix throughout the whole show. Again, guys, 31st of May, next episode, 2:00 USA time, Central Standard Time. And that's us logging off, man. Y'all have a wonderful week.